Live from the Loki studio for this Thursday, the 14th of November, it's Back Pocket. Brought to you as always by our classic and timeless Back Pocketeer patrons. This week starring Gus Ronald.
Now's the gameplay segment of the show.
And it's probably my favourite segment of the show. As usual, when I do one of these segments, I put a little soundbite together to introduce it.
Challenging
Times.
They're always cooked.
Peter Burns. Because they're happening right now.
You don't want to... Okay, I'll play this.
Do I really need to back announce it? Yes, right now. Ruby Innes.
No, that was Astrobot. The whole thing is an ad.
It's already
The whole
bought.
game is...
No, we're not having the conversation again. I'm talking about sulfur.
Thank you. I'd love to hear about it.
Thank you. And special guest, director and writer of Mystique's Haunted Antiques and co-founder of Lemonade Games, Ali McLean Hennessy.
And someone's going to give us a whole bunch of money. And if that's you, give me your address.
And behind the scenes, it's Josh, Will, and Ben. Now get ready. It's time for Back Pocket. Welcome to Back Pocket. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you everyone in chat for being here. And thank you for joining us today. But before I get to you, tonight on the show, we're getting sloppy with some models and binge watching.
What a way to, like, cast to the guest and be like, whoa, we're going to reel it back a little bit before we get to you.
It's because I almost forgot. But we are joined by the ever so lovely Ali McLean Hennessy. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming back.
Yeah,
We're already scared you off.
For last time, yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah, no, I think she had a good time.
It was all good till you made me read the credits, and that was the scariest.
We don't do that
we
anymore.
don't do
30
that
seconds
anymore.
of my life.
You were actually probably the last person we made do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, should we stop that?
Is this torture?
They seem to be having a bad time.
Is this legal?
Yeah, it was actually like a war crime, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm glad we do that anymore.
But yeah, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
How has development been?
It's been going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're making, I would argue, one of the most important games being made at this current moment in time, Mystique's Haunted
No pressure.
Antiques. No pressure. But like, I mean, to me, it's incredibly important in showcasing and representing just the worst bitches you've ever met.
Yeah.
And
Annoying girl representation.
exactly, we need more of them,
Yeah.
you know?
And we have so many of them, but they're not in the computer.
Exactly. They're
That's
in real
true.
life.
Yeah.
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 Is that your top
I
line
constantly
pitch?
find myself
Might be why we don't have a
surrounded by
publisher
annoying-
yet. I'm like, we have to get them in the screen.
How do we get them into a computer?
You mentioned it when we
In the
last
computer?
when we last had you on. You mentioned it, and we were talking about it. But there was a little like limited amount of stuff you could talk about and stuff you could show off. What has happened since that you can tell us about? Obviously, you know you've got a path to go before it comes to full release. But how's it all going in terms of what have you made so far
it's
in between the last time you were here?
God, I don't remember where we're at the last time. Someone in the chat said it was
had-
concept art and a tech demo, which
You
sounds
had one
right.
tech wobbly model that we were like, oh, that looks nice. But again, we were struggling to project what it was.
Yeah, I mean, we released our narrative teaser trailer, which is really exciting. So there's a bit of a vibe of what the game is out in the world now. We have a Steam page. You can wishlist it on Steam. Please
damn.
wishlist it on Steam. Please. Please wishlist it on Steam.
Well, let's talk about that right now because you're on it. What is the value for a developer of people wishlisting games? Because every time we have Australian devs on and they have it up on Steam, they're like, please wishlist.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's like the number one metric when it comes to any kind of deals that developers make, like
Really?
publishers, funding, any kind of like marketing visibility. The main metric they're asking for is how many wish lists do you have? That's like your market proving people are interested in the game.
What is the, and you may not know this, but what is the conversion rate of a wish lister to a purchaser on day dot?
It's different. It depends on many factors, like if you do a day one discount and what genre you're in as well. Like some genres are much more intense, like Steam users, and others are a little bit more casual. So there's not really a a go-to number.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Sorry, I didn't mean to grill
No, that's
you.
okay.
It's a weird thing to think of though, because the Steam wishlist is.
And how much money are you asking for?
It is like it's an accurate, it's a tangible sort of figure that can show general interest. What that does mean in conversion on that day, I've wishlist heaps of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, I would say I'm probably like a 70 to 80% of like, I'll go, oh, that came out, I got the notification.
Yeah.
So it's not a sure thing, but it's a really good indicator.
Yeah.
And again,
Growwich is wishlisted. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you
Since-
need to try to get to like 100,000 wish lists. That's like you're going to have a successful launch if you hit 100K.
all right, end of
Seems
the
like
stream.
a high number.
Yeah,
We can
so
get there.
all these guys.
Everyone get in there.
Everybody.
Is there any kind of... I'm sorry, I'm asking like boring questions. But is there any kind of algorithmic serving of games from Steam's store page perspective that is attached to wishlisting? Like if someone goes out there, if they're Ludwig and they're making a game, they can obviously get a bunch of wish lists. Does that just push them to the front of a carousel?
Yeah,
okay.
it's. I mean, the
So
Steam.
fucking wish list right now, please. Wish
Please,
list.
God.
Wish list.
You know, you should buy it, but it doesn't. It takes nothing to click on a
It's
wish.
free to
like,
wish list and it will really help us a lot.
Do it,
Yeah, sick.
cowards. Do
Yeah.
it. What's the response been like since the narrative trailer? I
Yeah.
love it, and the
Thank
art
you.
style looks fantastic, and on the website as well. Just that kind of. I guess like I hope I'm not being reductive here, but that like claymation kind of style, almost Coraline. I don't.
Yeah,
is that
yeah.
an okay sort of comparison to make?
That's
It's
okay.
just-
That's
well,
okay.
I know when some people see that and you're like, it looks like Coraline. You're like, everyone says that, or it's like
No,
reductive.
it's funny.
in that
People all
sense.
say different
Tim
things.
Burton murdered my
I
dad.
think. Yeah, I actually have a personal issue with Tim.
First name basis, all right.
Yeah, but in like a
It is a
mad
bad way.
So a lot of people say Bratz. A lot of people say like Polly Pocket comes up a lot, which is good. That's all in the mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Polly Pocket's good because it's like little bits.
Little bits,
Lots of little
lots of little
bits.
bits and pieces. We get Grim Fandango a lot, which is one of the main
Yeah.
inspirations for the game. So it's cool that people are seeing that.
These are all good, positive things that that have fallen into people's memory. That it's like
Yeah.
they are nice touchstones for people to go like more games like that, please. But
Yeah.
I imagine just response has been
It's
really
been
lovely and
great.
positive.
Yeah, I mean, we showed it properly for the first time at South by. When was that? Last month? I have no
a couple
concept.
days ago. Yeah, you're in that phase at the moment where everything's a blur.
And it was really scary, like as a developer, when you show your game for the first time and when it's not done yet, it's like so early in development. It's so like nerve wracking. I'm just sitting there sweating.
Because you had a vertical slice available to.
Yes, it's not quite done to vertical slice, but we showed part of it. Yeah. You see me, I'm like putting caveats.
It's not actually,
The visual effects are not complete.
but it's not what it is.
This isn't Shark Tank. We're not going to walk.
But how do
halfway
people
through.
kind of? How do people kind of respond to like giving it a go?
Yeah, it was really great. Like, you start the demo by decorating the shop window. The whole game's not a decoration game, but much of like the sort of chill time in the game is decorating. And it was really amazing to see how like intense people took getting like the window had to meet their standards.
Giving someone a
good.
personalization, customizable element, not just a
Yeah.
character credit, is like something that they get to dress. It's like it's amazing how focused people get on like I have to get this exactly right the way I want it, and
Yes.
get them in on that. It's a fantastic way to hook them in.
We also had you get like sticker sheets in the game that represent all the items that you've collected in a theme, and we decided to do a swamp sticker sheet for the demo, which just meant lots of frogs, and, like mushrooms. One of the frogs, this was not in the brief. Robbie, if you're watching, I'm about to put you on blast. One of the frogs had a really juicy ass, like a huge
Are we
juicy
saying
ass.
well done,
Nice.
Robbie?
I mean, we just put it through. We put it in the
Overdone,
demo.
Robbie.
But when you select the item becomes like full screen. This item,
Oh, damn.
when I was setting it up, was like, I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna try this. And when you open it, it just opens ass forward. And it was every single person who played the game was really there for the frog ass.
More games should open us for.
Yeah. You don't want to, anything that starts a conversation is worth keeping, right? Like
Yeah.
we find that with all the crap we do. Like
yeah.
it's like you put a social up and there's a mistake in it and it's like, we'll just leave it because people are talking
love it.
about it. Yeah.
More juicy frog butts.
Yeah, I wanted to
well
ask
said
because you were very early last time we chatted about it, but this is far from your first game that you've been a dev on.
Yeah.
But this was kind of when we were talking maybe the first game that is like truly your child,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
and you were so excited about seeing it to fruition.
Yes.
You're now maybe 60% of the way down that road, maybe a little earlier, maybe a little less. But is it still feeling like that? Is it you still got the passion?
I mean, South by was amazing. Like
Awesome.
as much as it's nerve-wracking showing the game, I think particularly when we're showing it to people who we've really made it for and watching them connect with it and like laugh at the jokes. Like that's little things like that where we've played the demo so many times. Everyone on the team has played the demo so many times. They're not laughing at the jokes that I wrote anymore. Seeing someone laugh at a joke is like, oh, it is still funny. But it was great.
Yeah.
And we won the People's Choice Award at South by, which was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Well
so
deserved.
crazy.
And it was so funny because I remember you saying to me before the awards, yeah, we're not going to win. I'm like, yes, you are.
It's like we're small fry, like there are a lot of other studios in the mix who are all really amazing and they're like multi-million-dollar studios that have so many fans, and so it was really cool that people liked it enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You realize
They
you're at
choose
the
it.
as Pete said, the 50% or 60%. We now
But we now know
have to
it's probably
timestamp
20%.
Well, that's it. We have to timestamp you back on. So we've got you at development art, trailer, and then at full when the game comes out, we get you back on that. I just want to like at these moments in time, and then we'll just slice it all together
People
and
can
be
see
like,
my physical
it's like-
deterioration.
Yeah. It's the Billie Eilish doing the Vogue interview every
It's
year or
exactly
whatever.
like
That's
that,
how
and
this
it's
is.
equally as important and popular.
I think so. We're on the zeitgeist here.
Yeah. And speaking of important and popular, hi, Josh.
Excellent throw.
well done.
How are we?
Oh, I love that award-winning smile. How are you?
Award winning.
He didn't think he was going to win
What
either.
did I win?
Did
Did I win something?
Give the
Yeah.
man an award.
Yeah, we've got like a trophy somewhere. You can have it.
Where?
It's the generic trophy that works for anything
Yeah.
we need to give it to. So you win
no,
that
I don't
trophy.
want that one. That's
Yeah,
and hello to Mackenzie as well. Mackenzie's
Hi,
here.
Mackenzie. Whoa. Rest in peace, Mackenzie. But we got a really great show. We got a really great show, and we're going to kick it off with a little bit of backup.
It's like screaming and baby voice. I'm like, this is going well. Don't.
Why not?
Actually, the crying's fine. It's baby voice.
Oh,
Don't need-
what's wrong with that?
Little bit of backup is brought to us by Wish Wild.
You know what?
What was that? What's that noise? Am I meant to know what that noise is?
do it again.
Do it again, dude. What the hell was that? Is that a goose and a...
You know what this is. We play this game every week before we play the what is the sound game?
It's like it's just like a guy. Like I don't know if he got hit or if he's just screaming.
It's a
But
guy.
it's just like it's a guy, and it's just like really heavily reverbed.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no reverb on that one.
Oh, can you put some in?
Little bit of backup is brought to us by Reese Wild, and as usual, when Reese Wild sponsors a segment, he sends in a sound for what is going on with my voice, and the baby voice ruined my throat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reese Wild sends in a sound from the wild, and we need to guess what it is. We need to identify what the wild creature is based on the sound. Let's hear that noise, please, Joshua.
I will say, just as a caveat for this one,
It's not an animal.
We're guessing what is making this splashing sound.
Okay, thank
Is
you.
it an animal?
It is an animal, yeah.
Okay.
Right, cool.
Here we go.
Okay.
Hey. We're up here. It's something cute drinking water. Didn't this happen the other week?
I just hate how much like stepsister stuff there is these days. You know? Why
I'm
is
just
that a
thinking about
thing?
that one vine. That's what good pussy sounds like.
Oh. How long does this go for?
There's still 30 more seconds.
No, that's
I
not.
would have been done by now. Wait, what are we talking about? Drinking water?
I think it's something small and cute doing this with its paw. It's like a raccoon trying to fish out some food from a bowl or something.
It
I
sounds
definitely
like my
think-
dog drinking.
It had a tongue.
Tongue energy?
Tongue energy. Something. I reckon it's
It's
a
giving
baby
tongue.
It's a baby version of a very big, ugly creature. So I'm gonna say like it's a baby rhino or something, or baby hippo. Hippos are in.
I was saying raccoon.
I think it's a dog drinking water. Okay.
No pressure.
What else drinks water?
Every living creature.
Is it me?
Is it Ali?
Okay, what is it?
Dear.
Oh, it's a booty cat.
It's one of those hairless cats
So
that
I
makes me
didn't think cat when you
uncomfortable.
said dog. I was like, well, that's it.
The
Yeah.
LEDs in the bathtub.
Very cool.
What is he doing?
That reminds me of our hot tub stream.
Swimming.
He's swimming.
Swimming.
I hope he's happy.
He's in the
I
Olympics.
think he is. He looks like he's having a great time.
I
Yeah, he's
love.
having a good time.
He looks like a bad guy, but I know he's good in his heart.
It's so weird that I adore cats, but hairless cats really creep me out.
Why?
Yeah, I
villains,
struggle with
they're
them.
evil. They're
Because
like,
Yeah,
you
little
watch
gremlins.
Blofeld and his. No, Blofeld's cat had hair.
no, that's you're thinking Austin Powers.
Austin
the
Powers,
fact that
because
Mr.
Dr.
Bigglesworth gets
Yeah.
frozen and then he's hairless for the
Yeah,
rest
yeah,
of it.
yeah,
No, I'm thinking of the cats out of like old Disney films and stuff. Also ones with pushed-in faces. I should love them, but what's going on?
You don't like a Russian blue?
No, Russian blues don't have a
I
like.
thought-
I'm talking the like
What's the other one?
the ones that look like they run into a wall.
Oh yeah.
The bad
know what
cat
you mean.
from Mouse Hunt. I've gotten us
British
off topic. Let's
fold.
move
British
on.
fold.
No, that's just the ears.
No, but I think they also
Scottish
have a
Falls,
squish.
yeah.
Thank you, Reese.
Folding.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Reese.
Reese.
In a little bit back up today, we're talking about Super Nintendo World Direct, which we saw Shigi Miyamoto do a 10-minute showcase of the new Donkey Kong
Would you
Country.
say he was getting shiggy with it?
I would say that. I would
Okay.
say. I don't remember the rest of that song. I was going to
Na,
say,
na, 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 na,
getting
na.
shiggy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is it. Yep. A 10-minute showcase of the Donkey Kong Country themed expansion to Super Nintendo World. As you can see, it goes from brick into stone. And that's it. That's all they put in. It's pretty cool, though. No, there is a Minecart Madness roller coaster, a rhythm-based Donkey Kong game, collectible letters around the area to spell Kong, very classic Donkey Kong Country there, a themed restaurant, Funky's Flying By merch shop, and it's all opening in Universal Studios Japan on December 11th. So if you've been to Japan recently, sucks to be you. You didn't get to see this. But if you go very soon, you'll get to see Donkey Kong Country.
There would have been a big wall and a sign saying "coming soon," but with a K, and you'd be like, "Oh!"
Yeah, and a banana.
and a banana on it.
Would have been a banana around.
This looks cool.
I thought that was computer graphics.
Yeah.
I love watching Shigeru Miyamoto be happy about anything that he creates, but that's my limitation with it. I'm not just being skeptical for the sake of it. Is there a ride attached to
Yep.
this?
The minecart.
Yeah, the minecart.
Minecart roller coaster.
They didn't show that off though.
They
did
show it at the end
Oh,
of
Josh?
the video.
That's the only
Skip
thing
a
I
bit,
missed.
brother.
But,
I just
uh,
saw this terrible like rhythm game.
I think it looks really fun. I really loved Donkey Kong.
Oh, the bongos are fun.
Jungle Beat, though.
The fact that it's indicated by these like piss poor lights on that little thing, like yeah. My other gripe is that it kind of just looks like part of any other theme park. We've all done jungle rides and jungle areas in theme parks. So I'm like, in terms of originality, it's something I feel like theme parks have done before versus maybe.
But
more
have they all
something-
done the big pile of bananas?
Yeah. Was Donkey
What
Kong
say
there?
you to that?
What say you to that?
Yeah.
I'll go up and just be like, it's all just cement.
And was
It's a big pile of cement.
Was
That
Funky's
amazing illusion.
was Funky's plane there?
Have I
Funky's
told
fun.
my banana theme park story on the show before?
No.
I probably have. Was it a banana-based story?
Not that I know of.
At a theme park?
But I'd like to know.
I was at BlizzCon, so I was in Anaheim for BlizzCon, and it was a super cool show. And then I had a day before I flew home, and so I went by myself to Disneyland, and I was at my hotel, and I took from the buffet breakfast a banana. I was like, this will be a great snack to have at Disneyland.
Makes sense.
Smart.
I'm going to walk around the
Potassium.
park with some potassium.
Damn right.
I had it in my back pocket. I hopped on one of the rides. I squashed it into my ass. And then I spent a whole day at Disneyland
What was the ride?
with a whole back pocket full of squashed banana. It covered my pants. And then it was on like Splash Mountain or whatever. I got sprayed in the face. So I sat down on the seat and I was like, oh, the seat's wet from the last ride. And then when I got off that ride, I was like, oh, I'm covered in banana.
So you shat
Yeah.
yourself on.
So you've gone and shat
And
yourself.
then
I'm on board with
Gaston comes up to you and he's like, "Have you got a squished banana in your back pocket?
Yeah.
Or are you just disappointed to see me?"
The thing about Universal Studios in America and in Japan is that it's not it's a themed park, but it's not Disneyland. It's not rides, everything. It's
Ride-centric,
just like
yeah.
it's experience
Walkabout.
time in a space that feels like that thing you know and love.
Yeah.
Which is fine. As long as your expectations are set to, I'm going to just like be in a space that is beautifully dressed.
Yes.
That's cool. This looks fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I want to be there right now. I hate that I'm here with you all.
that's fair.
Sure, it's what you would say when you're there with the public. Because that's how it always feels to go to these things, as thousands of people swarm around you and ruin every prop that you just want to look at and enjoy. As
Mind
there's like
you-
hundreds of people going, the bananas are just a big pile of concrete.
You say that with experience probably of Australian and American theme parks. I would argue that the Japanese theme park experience is probably a very different experience.
That is
Have
a
you
good
been?
point.
No, I know people who have
a lot of
been
people in
to
Japan.
Super Nintendo World
Yeah,
who, you know, immaculately clean,
Yeah.
and you know, visually striking.
Disneyland's very clean.
Yeah, Disneyland is.
That's
very
like
clean.
one of its. That's like it's the
but
cleanest
also
place
full
in
of
America.
Americans.
Yeah, I mean that's problematic.
What if it'd be lovely if they could like ban phone cameras when you go in there.
say ban America.
Yeah.
Also that. But it would be
would be great if
like
they did.
everything in here is a photo op now as well.
Yeah.
So that's my only other gripe. It's like be in the moment, enjoy how cool this is, and enjoy all the set dressing. And you're right. Back in the day, I'd run around a theme park and you just look at it all and be like, wow, wow, wow.
It's
and
like
now
all
it's
those
like
assholes that got to do like the press tour of the Star Wars park
Yes.
before it opened, and it's like there were
Yep.
just 200 people in there, and it was
Yeah.
like they got to do everything they ever wanted.
yeah. I will still, if I find myself in Japan and I can go to Universal's, I will.
How
go,
did I get to Japan?
like I'm too like again, and it's like anything Nintendo. It's like this wouldn't appeal to me now. I'm a grown up, but it's like I would still definitely say yes to going to it. I'd probably be a bit disappointed just because I'm a grumpy old man now who's like more of a cranky Kong than your Donkey Kongs. But
Yeah. I
I did
wanna
like the fact that it was animatronic. I
Oh
did
my
like
god,
that.
yeah. I want to have a DK Crush Sundae so bad.
Can we?
Yeah,
Can we
so
go?
there
Can we
was
go to
the Crush
food
Sundae
quickly,
and
Josh?
the DK Wild hot dog. I don't know what makes the hot dog wild.
You will see
Maybe
because it's probably the way it's stacked. I guess I don't.
Yeah.
Well, it was just like they just like pressed they branded the bun.
They branded the bun, but they also stack a bit of food on top of it as well. I would love if the drink you get to keep the DK Stein. That looks amazing.
DK Stein is a cool name. That would be like imagine being called
Yeah.
DK Stein.
It's like a tankard,
You would
right?
feel so bad.
Yeah, it's,
Oh,
it's
it's
so
a barrel.
sick.
I mean, it's a barrel.
Surely you get to keep it. It looks like it looks
Lots
sturdy.
of nachos.
nachos on the hot dog.
Oh, that's so
Because
good.
DK's always eating corn chips.
That's true.
Yeah.
I would tear up the
That's
gift
what I
shop
think
on
of
this
it.
thing too. I think actually.
I'd go fucking nuts. I
Yeah.
would come back
Bananas,
with so many
Peter.
red
Go
ties.
bananas.
I'd have so many red ties. So there it is. It's cool that they're expanding that over there. I don't know if that took over a different part of Universal Studios in Japan or if they're just expanding the park. But
What's next?
Another
Zelda area.
I mean, I would argue maybe not a bigger property than Donkey Kong. Mario, obviously number one for Nintendo.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong is so tied into Mario that it makes sense. But I mean, a Zelda area would go. It'd be
I
so
think
beautiful.
a Kirby area would go dummy hard.
Kirby's
You
so
could
good.
dress the Kirby stuff. You could make feel more theme park built. Zelda is just a park now.
Yeah,
You're
that's the
like,
thing. It's
"Oh,
just
that'd be quite
picturesque."
nice."
But
beautiful
the-
fields.
Yeah.
Also, Dolphin Pan saying Pikmin Land next. Pikmin would be so sick as
You
well.
step on them.
But like, imagine
No, it's the scale as if you were picking.
exactly.
Yeah.
So everything's
now we're talking.
huge. That'd be so sick. I want to be a Pikmin.
There you go. That is what you can do in Japan. This is what you can play on your home consoles and computer systems. What we've been playing. And phones.
We've all got phones, right?
Don't you guys have phones?
What we've all been playing is the segment where we talk about those games, but it is also sponsored by Nicotex. So it is it definitely sounds like a.
Now that you said it, I hear a man in a tunnel.
I still think a waterfowl in a swamp.
Well,
little
it is
man
good.
in a
It is
big
a. It is a.
Just a little man in a big tunnel we
Aren't we
call
all?
life.
Aren't we
all?
When Nicotex sponsors a segment, we have a look at Thanks to Josh. We play a game called Screenshot in the Dark, which is a game that Nicotex plays as part of Pocket Pals. And we look at the zoomed in screenshots and try to yell out when we think we know the game that it is zoomed in on. It'll slowly reveal the game as the timer runs out. Josh, have we got a screenshot in the dark? I thought he was going to respond with a...
Ruby.
Peter.
God of War?
Oh, who went first?
Me?
Me.
Oh.
You go.
Okay. Is it Horizon Zero Dawn?
It's not. It's
Okay.
it's The Witcher 3.
Oh.
Oh,
no.
shit.
You see that fucking pommel down there?
Whoa! Straight to it. 1 point to Peter.
I saw the thing in the I thought it might have been like a dinosaur.
Little dinosaur leg? Nope.
Could've
It
been
is The
dinosaur.
Witcher 3. Wild Hunt.
It was that pommel.
Heard of it?
The pommel was the giveaway.
What
was.
Never heard of it.
The Witcher.
what?
You're like the Watcher. Yeah, with the water hell.
What was that?
I don't know
want
what
more
that
of
was about. Thank you so much, Narcodex, for sponsoring this segment. Let's go around the room and talk about the games we've been playing, starting with Ruby. What game have you been playing?
I've been playing Rise of the Golden Idol. So if you are a watcher, the Watcher 3, I don't know.
Do you want to start again? Ruby, what have you
No,
been
no, I'm good
No,
actually. I'm confident in everything I say. You might have seen Gus and I play this
That's good. Which one am I?
for a playback. You're the one on the floor.
They're cool.
And you'd think that you're the one choking, but actually you're the one being choked.
And you think that he
you wanna
doesn't.
start
You
again?
think that he doesn't want that, but that's exactly what he's here for.
Exactly. So, The Rise of the Golden Idol, it is made by Color Grey Games. They are a Latvian studio, and it is the sequel to The Case of the Golden Idol, a game that I still haven't played, but plan to, especially after playing this. It is a investigative detective game where you're given scenarios in chapters. So it's like chapters within chapters almost, that basically all amass to figuring out the story at large. And most of the scenarios, with the scenarios, the crime is either happening or has happened, and in some it's both, which is very interesting. Or hasn't happened yet.
Oh, there is some Minority Report going on.
No, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. So in these scenarios, you are to look at what's on screen and investigate different little parts of what you've been given. Each thing that you investigate, you are given words that relate to it. It can be names, it can be things, it can be places, it can be actions, and you keep investigating the scene until your box is full of words and you've checked everything out. And then at the end, you've got a scroll that you need to fill out that basically explains what's happened. And you fill it out by putting in the words. And it's not just like filling in, but it's also looking at extra parts of the scenario that like letters and notes and stuff that maybe you don't get words from, but you do get kind of context clues from, that then help you to build that scroll. And as well, it's not just building out the scroll. In some scenarios, you're given pictures and you need to identify the characters in the pictures. There's one level where there was a note about a bet that two people in the scene had. You need to fill out the names and things they were betting it on in that. There's like so many layers to eventually filling out the scroll, and like filling out those little things help you fill out the bigger thing. Every single one of them, you have to fill out who's who in the scenario as well. That is also done through like images, IDs, context clues, relation to other people, yada, yada, yada. It's a very in-depth investigation game. And I have been frothing it. Oh my God. I think people could already see that I really enjoyed it when we did it for the playback. But getting deeper into it, oh man, it just gets better and better and better. Now, I haven't played Case of the Golden Idol, but I've looked at it a bit and had some comparison there. And on visuals alone, I think that the original game looks really cool. I definitely prefer how this one looks. I think the original was really cool in this, like the visual, the art style is still quite similar in the sense of how the characters and areas are designed. But for this one, they've gone for more of like a hand-painted styling. And I think it looks immaculate. I think it looks amazing. There's so much like depth and like color, and
it's a bit.
It's uncanny.
But it's a bit ugly too, which
Yeah.
suits the fact that these are crimes. These are things that are going on which aren't good. So again, I'm not saying ugly in like kind of just a sort of subjective. It's just like, yeah, it doesn't make anyone look attractive. They all look sort of scratchy.
It's
and
very stylized.
Yeah.
You know? And it's you can see that like, you know, classic color gray style in the last game, but I feel like the way that they've done it this time, it shows even more. Like it's so much more expressive, and I love it. I think it looks beautiful.
There seems to be a bit more movement per frame and stuff as well. Like if the game feels more alive, then that was like kind of the biggest detractor for me from what I saw of Case. Which was
a little pixely, I guess.
It was just like it looked so static to me, and that is like fine, but it can be this thing is so dense, like you're talking about. You're going into so much detail, and it's different every time. You're trying to store a bunch of information, and I don't know, something about looking at this game feels way more approachable to me, and it might just be that the screen is breathing, as opposed to just being so static. I don't know.
And as well, I think having this art style of like these like super, I'd say quite detailed, like painting like designs. Part of this game is looking really closely at stuff. Like there's literally a level in which you have to identify fingerprints. And I think it would be a struggle to do that in the first game. In this one,
Can you do it in real life?
yeah. They're yours.
They're fingerprints.
They're yours.
Who do they belong to?
But in this one, because it's so detailed, like looking closely at those little details, it is so much easier and so much clearer. Everything's so bright and so colorful, but when it needs to be pulled back and like sapped of color, it works super well.
How? Because we played this and got through, I think, three of the first three.
We got through the
cases?
first chapter.
Or first, yeah.
Yeah.
How
Or the prologue. I forgot.
potentially? How far through have you gotten? Because I'd be curious the way you looked at Case, and when they definitely worked out from the start, it was kind of like, hey, fill in the blanks, solve the case. And in the first game, they were using a lot of interesting tricks and developing that and going a lot deeper by, I think, the third or fourth mission or case or whatever you want to call it. I'd be interested to know from people who have talked about it in chat how they've gone about basically coming up with new tricks each case and ways to change that that pattern of how you solve it. Because so far, and what we played, it was like, Jesus, they're adding 3 new tricks to it every time, or 3 new complexities every time, that I was like, starts to break your brain in a good way because it's a gradual slope. Have you gotten stuck, or have you found yourself going, I don't know where to go from any point?
Yeah, well, I definitely have, and maybe it's because I'm simply not looking hard enough. But the game kind of encourages you to, which I think is really cool.
Encourages you to look harder or to get stuck?
To look harder.
Yeah, okay.
To work harder, basically, to change your thinking. And so if you have filled out the scroll and you get something wrong, you have 2 options. You can check for mistakes, which will tell you what you've gotten wrong, or you can get a hint. And with getting hints, it doesn't give you it immediately. It kind of breaks it up into...
Well, that would be a solution.
Exactly. It breaks it up into like areas. So like the people, the crime, the thing. And if you go deeper into that, it will give you because I think it assumes that you're so pissed off by not getting it right that you need to chill out of it. So before you get your hint, it'll ask you to breathe. And so you have to follow
that makes me angry.
Yeah, so you have to breathe, and then you go further in, and rather than just giving you the solution, it tells you how to look at it and how to it pushes you in the right direction to start thinking like you should be to get to the solution.
Yeah, great.
Which I think is really, really cool. Better way to do it than just giving you the answer.
Nicrotex is in chat, was a big fan of the original. I've played maybe 6 cases so far, halfway through chapter 2, and they've all had a different case mechanic to solve alongside the basic name these people and figure out what happened.
Yeah, like I've just opened up a level now where you're at a movie theater.
Yeah.
It made me fill out 2 scrolls, 2 sets of people, and there's about 5 to 8 people on each thing. A plan in a duffel bag who's on this movie, like the characters on this movie poster, a bet, a set of characters that are relevant to the case and like just all these little bits that all feed back into the final scroll, which
Totally.
is so cool.
I guess what's interesting too is that, as Nicotex is saying as well, it's like they're changing the case mechanic, not just, they are giving you more to do in each one. And there definitely was a point that I hit when we played it, which is like, my brain went, it's just like, it got filled with words and I got a little panicky.
But I fucking honed in.
Totally.
Yeah.
But it's good to see that they're going, a case mechanic is what changes how you look at it, not just, this one has 20 people to pick now, I assume. It's not just going, let's put density in there to make you get overwhelmed and confuse you. It goes, let's change how you approach it and change that, which is the thing I reckon is what people are hooked on, and is like, commend the developers to go like, that's really clever to be able to keep
That's the
people.
thing. It's so in depth, and like while I haven't played the first game, I have played a lot of detective games. Like for example, the Famicom Detective Club game, Ennio the Smiling Man, which I did quite enjoy. I found was quite restrictive, and it was kind of repetitive as well.
Totally, and I played the remaster, one of the remasters from that series. I can't remember which one, but felt the same thing. That was from the 90s. You know, that game felt like detective games have been around forever. Case of the Golden Idol got talked about a lot because it is not afraid of being the hardest version of this, the deepest version of this, and they've doubled down by the looks of it in Rise, which is super cool.
So cool. Like it feels really really expansive, and just like the cool thing about it though is like, one, I just want to say the UI in this game is gorgeous. So easy to go around and looks beautiful. I think I prefer this to what I've seen of the first game, but as well, jumping from thing to thing, like note to note, scroll to scroll, jumping all around is so easy to do. You don't feel like you're having to go too far back and then go all the way back.
Barriers there.
Exactly. I have been taking notes while I play in order to kind of, veto that process. But it feels very smooth to play in that aspect.
That's
also, something I really, really like about this that's not about the gameplay itself, but just the way to play it. There are so many ways to play it. It's for PC, it's for PlayStation, for Xbox, Switch, and mobile through Netflix games. And I've been playing it on my iPad and with my little Apple Pencil. And let me say, playing it on a tablet rocks.
Can you have like
Is
a
that 'cause-
notes app open over the top and you're taking notes on the
Yeah.
And you put it behind your ear and then like tilt the brim of your hat down. You're like,
trilby?
then
Yeah.
you finish your drink and
Always
storm out of the bar and you're like, I'll shove
you
this
got a pin,
tomorrow.
you got a pinstripe suit?
Yeah,
Yeah, all
I'm
the time,
smoking a
mate.
cigar.
Yeah, nice.
My life is black
there
and
is there
white.
just like a fan on the roof spinning
Yeah,
slowly?
yeah, and there's
like
a
light
very
shining through it?
beautiful woman
Yeah.
whose husband has just mysteriously died in my office.
I was going to say, I
no.
walked into
Gotcha.
your office with legs from here till Tuesday in
Yeah.
a red dress. I'm like, really? I need you to solve the
Exactly.
case.
And that's why
And I'm
that's
like,
why you
"Quiet,
started
toots."
choking. Yeah, that's
That's why you're joking me.
But playing it on tablet feels awesome.
Yeah, it looks-
I would argue, to me at least, it's the it's this like, it is arguably the best way to play it next to PC.
yeah. No, that looks more comfortable.
It feels fantastic. Oh my god! And the fact that there are so many ways to play it, I would argue that everybody should play this game.
There you go.
It rocks so hard. So, Rise of the Golden Idol, I think this is going to be one of my top games.
A couple of
this year.
people in
Yeah,
chat
amazing.
pointed out
Easily.
Game of the Year so far, and they're looking at that might be what makes the top of their list.
Yeah,
so there
man.
you go. A shining
It's my
recommendation.
favorite investigation game to this day.
We'll check that category when we do the awards at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Favorite investigation game of the year.
To this day,
and we get to vote on it.
and one of my favorite games this year,
Cool.
hands down.
Very nice. That is not Curse Case. That's Case.
Rice.
That's Case.
Rice of the Golden Idol.
Rise of the Golden Idol.
Rise of the Golden Idol.
Case of the Golden Idol was the first one. I
Yeah.
always call it Curse of the Golden Idol because I'm dumb.
There you go.
But Rise of the Golden Idol is the second one.
They are tied together quite intrinsically in terms of like, we don't have to go into that because that's really deep, but there's something that was in the first game that's carried over into this one. And it is literally the curse that continues going throughout it. We saw in the trailer at the end of it that was teasing that. It was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is quite a solid tie into the original
And also,
game.
sorry, really quick, if you do, I don't think a lot of people do, but if you do use Netflix games, it is available through that as well as the first game.
cool.
So, you know,
There you go.
What is Netflix games a subscription? Isn't it just?
It's just part of Netflix.
yeah, it's part of the subscription.
Oh,
Yeah.
You have it.
And then, that's how I played Point P.
Yeah, even
because
if
I
you
logged
play-
into Netflix on my phone.
There it is.
Even if you got the Netflix with ads,
Ali, have
can
you played
still...
Point P?
No.
You don't have time
gotta
to play
fucking
Point
play
P.
Point P. There's always time for Point P.
Pete's Game of the Year every year.
Wow.
Cool. That was Rise of the Golden Idol. I'll jump in next with the game I played. I checked it out on Monday and did it as part of the game night stream. So a few people here might have seen me playing Metal Slug Tactics, a game that got delayed, but I had on my Pocket League list, I think 2 years ago or a year or so ago. I've been hanging out to play this. This is, as the name suggests, a tactics-based game using the Metal Slug license or the Metal Slug franchise, which for anyone who walked through a Caravan Park arcade in the 90s would have seen the classic Neo Geo style, crazy over-the-top, full sound on blast, run and gun shooter game that I tried to play a bit of when I was little, but it chewed through too many coins and was known for being fast action, super explosive, super bombastic. It's this fictional setting of a war between these fictional countries with action hero style war heroes. It's very silly in terms of how it's sort of bombastic, cool headbands, sleeveless shirts, sexy guys and gals fighting an evil bunch of terrorists that all kind of have symbols that look similar to Nazis. Anyway, I'm off topic. It's as an art style for the old arcade game that has come well back into fashion and has now been adapted into this more slower, strategic, XCOM isometric style tactics game, is beautiful as you get the actual chance to appreciate it. So I was very keen to try this out. The first time I picked it up was on console. It's part of Game Pass, and so I picked it up with a controller, and I really struggled to just navigate the very complicated UI. There's a lot of information there, and there's a lot to learn in the tutorial, and it's handled as best it can with the controller, but I was very keen to put this down and try again on a PC, which is what I streamed it with the mouse and keyboard, and had a much better time with it, like seriously considerably better time using a mouse and keyboard because of how complex it all is. The essential structure of it is you're on these tiles that are grid-based. You have 3 heroes that you select and take into a battle. It's actually a roguelite, so what'll happen in the main campaign is you take those 3 heroes into an overworld map, you select from a bunch of procedurally generated missions. They are lightly generated in the sense that they reuse maps. They just change the objectives from destroy all enemies, escort something across the map, or take out something that's moving across the map. So they just have some light variables in there to keep the missions fresh each run. You then proceed through those missions, gaining XP, gaining bonuses for your heroes, and gaining gold until you, I think, do 3 stages, and the enemy will count down and say a boss is approaching at the end of those 3. You then defeat that boss to unlock the next zone, and you can do a run through that one. So that was a part of the game I wasn't expecting. I just assumed this was a straightforward narrative of linear levels of like an XCOM or something like that. And I am okay with the roguelite stuff. I didn't think it was necessary, and it's a fun way to come back and maybe have some replay value. But at the moment, I'm just trying to unlock all the areas and enjoy and unlock all the heroes. And then the turn-based element of it that you're seeing now, or if Josh, do you mind skipping forward a little bit to a regular level, you take it in turns to move your heroes. They have movement points, they have action points, you've got special abilities, and you can basically just link them all up with a couple of cool, unique aspects that this has, which I thought were really clever. So usually if you play a tactics game, or I assume, you often pick your best heroes, you move them into a position, and then you sort of slowly creep around the map, making sure everyone's covered, and often kind of try to kite enemies towards you into positions that you can then take them out. So I wouldn't say you play slowly, but you'd play tactics games methodically.
Tactically, one might argue.
Correct. Here, they've implemented a couple of mechanics that are trying to emulate the running and gunning of a side-scroller. That is that the further you move your hero to the edge of the sort of limited squares, the more points you get to avoid getting shot. So it's encouraging you to move the furthest amount of distance each time and to run to cover. And so if you can combine cover, you'll get a little blue number. That means that's, lowers your chance of getting hit. And if you move to the furthest square, a dark green square, you'll get an extra bonus next to your name up the top, which means if someone comes to hit you, you've got 2 dodge points in there as well, and you're also gaining adrenaline, which is what you use to pull off your specials. So essentially what it's saying is, on every move, don't just move 1 square at a time. Don't like stand next to each other, your 3 heroes, and slowly creep around the map. It's like split up and go as far as you can, and that way you'll have the best chance of survival, because that is combined with a line of sight sync mechanic. Basically, if a partnered hero is nearby you in the right position, when you attack an enemy and it highlights it, it'll say this other other player will get a bonus attack. And you can link that with all 3 of them. And so you can suddenly pull off moves where you're spreading around the map and setting an attack off, and you're getting every hero to attack 3 times per round, or all using their ammo 3 times. So it turns from a defensive shell up, just creep around the map, into a split up and go bombastic, which I've never really experienced in a turn-based game. And it's totally spun the sort of mechanic on its head, and I'm really enjoying it because it does, in a way, emulate what this series used to be, which was a coin-guzzling arcade machine where you just ran across the screen and blew everything up. Which I'd say is really commendable, because, yeah.
Yeah, tactics games are like not my bag really, but I love the idea of them, and I like that they're having a bit of a resurgence. I mean, I guess they never went away. XCOM was always like the recent XCOM series, big. The Mario Rabbids crossover games fucking rock.
Oh, they're good. Well, that's the thing. Like, I really enjoyed Mario Rabbids because while it was a tactics game, it thrived in its simplicity for a tactics
Very
game.
accessible,
How do you find this game in terms of accessibility?
Yeah, as I mentioned, the tutorial at the start is vital, and you have to really sort of pay attention to some of the extra mechanics they've added to it. One thing they have put in there that's quite helpful is a keyword mechanic, kind of like Rise of the Golden Isle. When any text screens pop up, all the words, you can hover over them and they'll explain what that actually means as a sort of like what that means
As
to
a game
stats
mechanic.
or as a
Yeah,
game mechanic.
yeah.
So they don't just say your adrenaline will now boost your super and that gives you a sync bonus special. You're like, what the fuck?
You can hover your cursor over each of those things, see what
and
it
go
means,
sync bonus is like line up with
See,
the
that's good because I can't stand a game that
tells you a
constantly
word and
tells
then-
you stuff over and over again. But I like having the option.
Yeah.
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 No, that's a super helpful element of it. And beyond that, I think, it's there's a lot of UI, but I very quickly just learnt to look at what I needed to look at, and I don't think it was as necessary. You could pretty much play it just
Wide, please.
you could pretty much just focus on a couple of the. Sorry.
You didn't cut to the wide?
I'll cut to the wide for the dog. I
yeah, you
apologize.
missed the dog.
I would just say the controller really messed me up. There's some cool other parts of it as well in terms of like you can rewind a move before you actually. It's a dog
Cat
drinking water.
splashing.
That's another word. I was looking at Nicrotex's It's Not Like Destiny's Qualiture in the Memory Alembic. Like there's just like
God.
there's a bunch of
Jargon and
there's
like-
a bunch of jargon in Destiny. Obviously.
Yeah.
Once you're
But
in the
it's true of-
memory anemic,
There's a lot of games that just put random words, which are important keywords or objective things.
remember you need to keep collecting the conchos.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is that?
What is that? But in a
Oh, the
tactics game,
conchos
it's
give
like
you gunch.
you've got Overwatch if you sit here and it's like, what does that mean? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
right. It means that if you're in cover and someone moves through your line of sight, you'll get a shot off. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, that's the important information that you've reduced down to like a keyword.
Or a buzzword that you've named
Yeah.
for this.
Yeah.
It's got some pretty forgiving rewind mechanics at the start. I don't know if that continues, but it does let you kind of move everyone around the board before you attack and see what would have opened up and then be like, I don't like that. Right click. And it's like, back. Everyone comes back.
That's cool.
And you can be like, you can sort of plan your move and go, that would have been a better
Only on the
move.
opening?
No,
Or
I
just
think it
throughout?
continues. It just once you do an attack, then you
can
might
rewind.
spend. I think there's a mechanic again. I didn't look into it that you can rewind that attack, but you only get 2 of them per map.
Yeah.
So it's like that's the time that you can go. I really fucked up that sync
And they're
shot
called
didn't
chrono
work."
points.
Probably, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Gunch coins.
that's super helpful. But again, on the controller, I couldn't work out what they all were, and the sort of way it was mapped, I was like, I'll just press the button, and oh shit, I set off a chain of reactions of things I didn't want to do. So I would highly recommend checking it out on PC. It is on Xbox Game Pass or Microsoft Game Pass, so you can do that. The roguelite element is a reason for me to come back and keep doing this. I heard mixed reviews from people when I was streaming it. They're like, I didn't really need this. This works well as a game, and it could have worked well as a here's 50 levels to get through, and they just get progressively harder. Some people, like myself, made a run to a boss, died, didn't realize what was happening, went back to the start. And I was like, a roguelite, when you don't know it's a roguelite, is a real kick in the nuts. Like, when you're expecting it, you're
What do
ready
you
for
keep
it.
from the light perspective?
You keep, I'm pretty sure it's any heroes that you've unlocked, and maybe some currency, and I don't think it's your abilities, but the knowledge of what those abilities are for the next run.
You don't
which
need
is-
to hover your cursor
Correct,
over
yeah.
the
But if you
things
need
anymore.
to, you can.
But you could.
But you could if you
But
want.
you
I
don't need
lost
to
my
on the
rocket. I lost my explosive rocket boots on my first run, but I bought them first time next run, and I got through the boss and beat it. And the stream all saw me succeed, so I had a great time with it. Yeah, Metal Slug Tactics. It's really good. I would love it on phone as well.
I was about to say, this
yeah.
looks like it would benefit from being on my iPad.
I totally agree. I don't know if it has plans to at this stage, but yeah. In the meantime, check it out on a Game Pass
They
if you
should
like
just
it.
do what everybody did to the Dredge devs and keep saying put it on mobile
Hassle
until
them.
they do.
Don't do that.
But like the art style in your one,
Don't do that.
just to finish on the art style, yeah, like the art style in your one, it's just wonderful that like the breathing, it's just the whole map, everyone is just doing that pixel breathing. Bob, every item in there, every tree is waving, every little dust air element just has a little cycle of animation, and it's just so satisfying to look at. So yeah, really good fun.
She
Scotty,
just
you're
came
next.
in from under the table.
You good?
Oh, too good.
Ali, do you want to kick it off next with what you've been playing?
Yeah, I've been playing Planet Coaster 2. It's taking over my life. This game is so good. So it's Planet Coaster 2. You can build roller coaster theme parks. Planet Coaster 2, the main new thing is that they have water rides now. So you can make like custom pools with like slides, and you can do like log flumes and water rides. It's so sick. It also has like a multiplayer franchise mode, so you can like build parks with your friends. Very cool. This game is in
The
mixed.
same park with your friends?
Yeah.
Okay, right, gotcha.
As far as I know, I haven't tried it. But I don't want to play
I
with
don't have
anyone.
friends.
I don't want anyone to see me when I'm playing Planet Coaster. I'm just like, it's complete darkness in my apartment. I need to make the pool heart-shaped perfectly. But it's in mixed on Steam last time I checked, which makes me so mad because gamers don't deserve this game. It is truly an enormous technical achievement. This game, I played the first one. The second one is a huge improvement, in my opinion, in terms of the control scheme and the UX and how much more fun it is to play this game on a console. Because previously I could only play Planet Coaster keyboard and mouse. I've been playing and building parks completely using a PS5 controller, which is so crazy to me.
Yeah.
And I'm really enjoying it. The flow is amazing. It's just so beautiful as well.
That's one of the rides you go on
The flow.
yeah.
They've managed to strike a really interesting balance because obviously Frontier also make Planet Zoo. Planet Zoo is like much more realistic aesthetically, obviously because there are lots of animals and it's probably cheaper to do photorealistic animals
They just
than try
buy
and
the
stylize
3D
them all.
models. Yeah.
But this game, I think they've really struck a beautiful balance between the more realistic, like lighting and rendering effects, and the more stylized actual geometry. So they have at launch, they launched with so many different themed packs of like. Has anyone played a Planet game before?
I played the original Planet Coaster and was fucking thrilled by it as a
Yeah.
roller coaster tycoon fiend, but you can first person go on the rides.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the
It is-
promise of the Planet games is so beautiful.
And the thing that sticks out to me is the way that the customization is so deep. Like, they're not just giving you buildings that you can slam together and change the colors. It's like they're giving you individual roof tiles. They're giving
Oh
you
my god.
different like window frames in every pack. There's like 12 different window frames, different door frames. So the things that people are making in the like blueprint workshop when you go in and look at what other players have uploaded is crazy.
It's been 40 hours and you've made the toilet.
Literally, people are just doing like every type of food truck, every type
Yeah,
of
wow.
cake stand,
Yeah.
anything.
I love going onto like those marketplaces and seeing people's designs, and like you'll see one that's so detailed and so in depth, and then right next to it's like this shitty thing, and it's titled like "My Forced." It's like, cool.
It's great. It's still early enough in like the Planet Coaster 2 life cycle where if you go to like the most popular page on the workshop, there'll just be like someone made a Dr. Pepper can and then there'll be an entire medieval castle that someone has created. But it's so beautiful. the things that people are mad about is that there isn't realistic slide physics in the game yet.
Oh my god. Oh
And
my god.
So, in a former life, before I was doing indie dev stuff, I worked in AAA specifically on gameplay physics. And when I tell you, no one should have to suffer that much. No one should ever have to make vehicle physics work in games. It is so hard. When you look at the technical achievement of this game, the level of customization, the fact that like the crowd AI pretty much works, that is amazing. It is so beautifully designed. It is so easy to use. I've had like maybe 4 or 5 little bugs that haven't really affected my gameplay experience. I just feel like the expectations on a simulation game like this are way too high. We need to accept that like they've built an entire world that you can customize to the finest detail.
Yeah.
It's funny because I did see
And look at it up close.
And see it from every angle and like it's so beautiful.
I did see a couple of sort of things going around on socials that were people who were being really heaping a lot of praise on it for some of the smallest details that I wouldn't have thought is a thing. There were people going, I'm just going to see if I can make paths round that will join to each other. Oh my God, you can.
The new pathing is so good.
So I think there were potentially some frustrations in the previous game for what was a very good game that was like, oh, it'd be great if it had this, this, and this. And they've fixed those, but they're not really like back of the box sort of features that you're like, oh, isn't this the thing you all want? But it is the thing people have really been asking for.
The things that make such a difference to the kind of player who's going to play this for like days on end, they're all in there. The flow of like building a park and just sort of naturally following what's exciting and interesting to you. It's also like, I'm not in this kind of game, I'm more of a creative mode. Like I just want to go and like build beautiful parks and I don't really care. I tried to take some gameplay footage to send to you, but I kept getting the notification. Many guests are desperate. I don't care.
I get an Instagram ad constantly from a group in Melbourne. They do shirt embroidery, and they seem to only have a Roller Coaster Tycoon line at the moment, and it's just like a plain tee with an embroidered box notification. I want to go home, and the sad face of the guest in your park. It's like, it's so good. But it's like $80. It's fucking ludicrous.
So there is, in terms of, there is a like just creative mode, endless. Full. Again, I can't remember when I played the last one, but the alternative to that is the park management. You know, earn enough.
You
build
can
a park
also
that succeeds,
create custom modes, so you can actually go down and like toggle on and off all the different features. If you're like, oh, I still want guests to be hungry and thirsty and like need me to build facilities for them, but I don't want to have to think about money. You can do that, or you can change like even finer detail than that. You can change like the spawn rate of certain issues and that kind of thing. You can it's amazing what they've done.
Is there a campaign at all? I remember like
there is.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I like the idea of an option of nobody in this park should need to piss.
There is a piss toggle.
You do not need to pour a pee ever in your life.
Do you ever get hit with the kind of like creativeness paralysis that I find when I do these ones and you get a fresh park and you're like, where to start? And it's just like, I struggle so much to find.
Well, that's where the campaign comes into play.
Yeah, okay.
Because it is often you are taking over a struggling theme park.
Yeah.
And so it already has a theme. It already has some rides.
Of a kind of
you jump in and you're like, you're broke. Make some money, make it work. And I really like that about this.
Has died. And you need to bring his.
And there's a man with a banana in his pants on Splash Mountain. What do you do?
And he's saying, I want to go home.
So when we went to Gamescom in August for Lemonade to show Mystiques, and we were there for like a few extra days after the end of Gamescom, and we were trying to figure out what to do in Cologne, because Cologne's a pretty small city. If you've kind of been around for a couple of days, you've seen most of Cologne.
It
actually super doesn't smell great.
Yeah, more like colon. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah, there we go.
So we just opened Google Maps on my phone and zoomed out, and we're like, what is like around Cologne? And there was just a pin on the map that said Fantasia Land. We were like,
well, you gotta go.
Tell me more about Fantasia Land. Looked at like the first initial description of it that was like, oh, a theme park built in the 60s. We're like, great, we're going. Assuming it's going to be kind of janky and run down and like whatever, it'll be a fun story that we can tell. We got there and it was so magical. It's actually one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. I'm not like a big theme park person, but it was sort of like an old-timey theme park, but perfectly preserved.
They still managed to get around the copywriting. It was so early that they could get away with Fantasia Land.
It must have been before Fantasia.
Well, I think so because it was like in the 60s. Yeah. But it was so incredible. So that was a magical day. But now I want to build Fantasialand in Planet Coaster because it's the same kind of vibe. It's this like vintagey thing.
Can you download other people's parks?
You can download blueprints that they build
Gotcha.
on the workshop.
Yep.
I don't know if you could download a whole park. I guess maybe.
You could upload park.
You shouldn't download a park.
You wouldn't download a park.
Can you? This is
So
a,
people who make like existing, like the Big Dipper, you can go and
Yeah.
download.
Yeah, totally.
Someone's made that.
I'd love to make Wonderland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Australia's on it,
Australia's
but
on.
today.
Yeah, but
yeah,
so,
totally.
like,
Everyone needs to
sad.
piss. It's
But
terrible.
you can though, like so the main way that I kind of get inspiration to make my parks, I'm kind of a big deal park creator.
I believe that. I believe that.
Like to get around the creative paralysis that you were talking about is like there are so many great content creators who got the game early and have been doing like series on the parks that they're building.
Yep.
And everyone's doing something really different. Like somebody did like a rundown American 90s theme park. And it's like
Amazing.
so great. And the level of customization and like creativity that they enable with all the modular pieces means that people are making like every kind of theme park you can imagine.
Yeah.
And it looks distinctly their own or to their
Distinctly,
theme
yeah.
that they're going for.
And they
That's wild.
even have like decals that you can add for like wear and tear or like exposed brick or like drains and grates and stuff. It's
What a
so
time
cool.
sink.
much.
And
I
the
would, yeah.
when we
would
last
be
had you
obsessed.
on, you were talking about that mobile game that was the city builder game where you were like, and you can get down there in first person and be the mayor and look at everyone. I'm like, you have a thing about
Can you be
games
the
where
mayor of the park?
you need to get down
And
there
you're
and be
the
with
mayor.
yeah, and be with the people. This is your theme.
Yeah, I think I just have a lot of appreciation for, particularly for a
Simulation.
simulation because it's so hard to do.
Yeah.
And I never want to do it.
How do they know to walk on the path?
Literally,
brilliant.
There's so many things though. That it's like how particularly
good.
the physics on the coasters is so great. If you enjoy like going down to the like first person perspective, if you have a ride that has physics enabled, it means that every time that you watch it, it's gonna be different.
Yeah.
It's not just. Imagine QA testing that.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
Can you still sell your park? Is this a throwback, Peter? Can you still sell your park at the end? Did you ever do that in theme park? You had to like sell your park with the handshake.
Oh, do the
and
handshake.
you're like,
No,
no.
I know that screen. I can see that screen. But no, I never played.
Oh, it's like you make your park, and I was
Yeah.
like, the end goal was sell your park, and it was
Right.
like to a bidder, and it was like you'd up the amount of percentages, and you'd have this handshake, and I still don't know how finances work, and I'm like, I'll make it cheaper, and the hand comes over, and I'm like, now it's more expensive. And I was like, I assume that's how you buy property, and it's just like, yeah.
that'll be $80. $1,000. Come here.
I do really want to play that. That looks amazing.
It's great. It's
Very
really
cool.
great. People should stop complaining.
People should stop complaining. Peter, what is the last game that people should not complain about and have a good time playing?
Let me take you back to the 17th of January, 1990.
Okay.
Mandy Burns, belly full of boy,
Oh, God.
and in
That's his mother.
Cogra Public Hospital. Out I come.
Got it.
It was a 20-hour labor.
Great.
It was a really easy birth.
Yeah.
I don't know what she complained about. I was in primary school when I found Pokemon, and it was an important part of my childhood.
Yeah.
I fucking adored the show. I played the games like crazy, and Pokemon cards were the biggest thing in the world. They were the biggest collector's item. They were adorable. You could play a game with them. I didn't understand how that worked. But it was the idea of collecting Pokemon was like dominated my headspace when I was a kid.
There's literally a Bulbasaur next to your head.
And I bought that for the set with my own money because it needed more Pokemon on it. I have a Pokeball from when I was that age that had a little Bulbasaur in it that I still have on my
Oh, yeah,
desk.
something like that as well.
Like it has just stayed with me because it was a part of my childhood in such a big way. And
He's old.
I collected the. Wait, what? Wait, he's old? I'm 34. Fuck you.
Wait, he's old.
Wait, he's old.
So what's the game you've been playing?
So I had a huge collection of Pokemon cards when I was a kid. Everyone around me did as well. And we would trade them at school, and they got banned at school because people were trading.
You know, it was a good trend when it got banned.
Yeah,
Totally,
only
it
the
got
good
it
stuff
got
banned.
it got banned from
Yeah, like
school.
drugs.
But I never really understood how to play the game. And it is a Pokemon. The trading card game is a simple version of like a Magic the Gathering style game. You have like Pokemon that you can fight other people with, and you need to power them up with energy cards, and you have support cards as well. So Pokemon trading card game Pocket just came out. It is a digital version of that trading card game. You collect them all, you go into battles, but mostly you collect them all. And so you get digital versions of foil packs. You get 5 cards per pack. There are extremely rare cards. There are very common cards. And there is that same hook that I had when I was a kid of just tearing open those foil packs and trying to collect them all. The beautiful selling point of this game is that because they're digital, they can do some interesting effects with them. Some of the rarest cards have it's literally just a video that's attached to it, but you kind of move into a parallaxing world, and it shows off a scene in a really nice way. And you can play those cards in the trading card game. I, again, had never played the trading card game. I have collected a shitload of cards now. I have started building decks. I have watched the game auto battle enough that I've now started to play games myself. I'm like pretty confident that I went and played a real human being and beat them because I know how my deck works, because I watched the auto battler play. So there's a bunch of stuff built into this that is designed to be really, just to encourage you to spend money in it. Well, let's not beat around the bush. It is about, the game is free. You get free cards every day. You get 2 free packs every day. So you get 10 cards per day for free. So theoretically, eventually you would collect pretty much everything. But by the time you could, there's probably going to be a new expansion that comes out, and suddenly you're falling behind on collecting the whole set. I know that, not to call you out, Nick, Nigrotex has grabbed everything. It has purchased enough Pokemon Gold to have opened enough packs to
He just
have them all.
said in the chat that this game is definitely not the reason that his credit card bill is the highest it's ever been this month.
Amazing.
Jesus.
But as well, I like just how much it kind of rewards you with the hourglasses, so then you can kind of just keep fucking opening cards.
Yeah, so there are mechanics built into the game that allow you to open packs sooner. You can, as you complete events and daily quests and stuff like that, you get those points, so you speed some stuff up. It's basically like every mobile game, you're lowering timers. But the presentation of this is unparalleled. It's fucking gorgeous, and every part of it is beautiful, and all the sound is great, and there's a crunch to it all, and there's haptic feedback on everything, and it just is really, it's like a poker machine in your hand. It really is quite disgusting. So while we were sitting here on the couch, I bought $150 worth of Pokemon Gold, and I'm now going to open a 10 packs of cards for you all.
Wow.
Would anyone...
This sounds boring.
No, I'm going to open them on screen for everyone.
That's even
because
worse.
there's not much more to explain about this.
Okay.
So can we just get a poll in chat? Mewtwo, Charizard, or Pikachu, and I'll open 10 packs.
Wait, hang on.
Sorry.
So as the theme of the moment is that the opening gambit is that there are
Genetic Apex.
It's called Genetic Apex, but there are 3 lead Pokemon. There's cards that are only available under each individual pack. So the Mewtwo pack, the Charizard pack, or the Pikachu pack.
Okay.
There's generic cards that are in everything, and then there's rare cards.
But
that
you'll
are in
only get a
some.
Mewtwo if you open those Mewtwo packs.
Yeah,
Okay.
or a high-end Mewtwo.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's Pikachu. So as new packs come out, this will change. There'll be new cards. The Pokédex will expand.
Got it.
And there'll be more things to play with. Obviously, the trading card game itself has been around now for 30 years. And so there's a shitload of cards, and things move in and out of metas in terms of how you battle and where you take them. But I'm ready to open cards if we have an answer on that poll.
I have been using the trick you mentioned I think last week, where you flip the first card over and then you look for it directly at the back, and I've been getting some pretty good shit.
Honestly, I was being a bit facetious because this is literally just loot box gambling.
Yeah.
But I do consistently get good cards doing that.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just I'll show you the trick.
Are you seeing the card you want to get, or just you're seeing the pack when it spins around the other side?
It's
So
gonna be Charizard by a mile.
Charizard.
it's
okay.
Charizard. All right, cool.
Yeah.
And so you're
opening
opening this pack with
I'm
the
going to open
hope-
10 packs. So I'm about to open 50 cards. Let's do it.
How long is this going to take?
I'm really glad that this
Not long.
happened after the NFT Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be really sad if they were.
Here we go.
NFTs.
10 packs. And okay, so you open 10 packs.
Oh my
you
God.
open them
Just
all
open
in
the
one.
fucking packs.
No. Trace line to open. You get to trace a line
I
to,
think-
to crack the pack.
Okay.
Stop acting like it's not the fucking coolest thing you've ever seen. hang on. The screen brightness is too bright. That's good. That good? Yep.
Oh, you open them all at once.
Shit! Far-fetched, Radicate, Cottony, Pincer, big special Pincer. That's 1 gold star. We got ourselves a Poliwag, a Go-Goat, a Zebra Strike, a Far-Fetched, and a Rapidash. We got Charmander, Mawile, Golett, Golduck, and Swanna. More. There's a Zebra Striker, a Snom, a Ducklet, a Mankey, and a Starmie EX. That's got to be 4 stars, baby. Next, we've got a Slowpoke, a Persian, a Rattata, a Meowth, and a Frostmoth. Next pack, please. Oh, shit. We got an Execute. We got a Centiskorch, Eradicate, a Snom, a Slowpoke Special. That's gold, baby. Lock that gold in. Next pack, please. We've got an Erica. We've got a Cottony. We've got a Tangela. We've got a Dome Fossil. Nice. And a Kabutops. Excuse me. Stop distracting the audience.
Don't we want a Charizard?
We've got a Golett. We've got a
Okay, sorry.
Meowth. We've got a Gloom. We've got a Blitzel. We got a Persian. How many packs we got left? This is pack number 9. 2 to go. Swanna, Pyukamaku, Ponyta, Execute, not sure, Rapidash, and we got Staryu, Centiskorch, Dome Fossil again, baby, and a Golett and a Rapidash. So not great. Money poorly spent, I would say.
It's $150.
That wasn't $150. That was probably like $10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that not the company's money?
That was mine.
Oh, thank Christ.
Yeah.
The triple.
But I will
the
be
opening-
spending company
I thought
money.
you were going to be like open. Opening all at once. That I got.
Peter, please stop yelling. Again, that is an example of how Moorish
Yeah.
and just like a sensory overload. This
I
app
appreciate
is.
there's
It's not a game so much. Obviously, the
Yeah.
trading card game playing is the game element of it.
You keep
but
saying
it's
the trading
mostly
card
an
game
app.
it's battling though.
It is
right?
battling.
Yeah,
it is
okay,
Pokemon
right.
battles.
Yeah.
In the way that the trading card game works.
I appreciate that there is some of that Pokemon Company style minimalist around this that does feel like I've heard some people make comments that like compared to your Marvel Snaps and stuff, it's a little under-designed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't echo that. I would say I like how like it's that real sort of again that sort of Japanese clean aesthetic of like just really appreciate that kind of like the foil, the feeling, the tangibility of it all. Like I really like that part of it. I just whether or not is the battling part fun. I don't know if for me I couldn't collect it. I would want to make sure there's a game there for me to play.
You have to collect cards to build decks to play.
Sorry, I would want that battling
the
to be
combat?
something I find fun enough that I go, I want to get more characters or Pokemon into this.
I would argue that it is interesting. It is
Yeah.
cool.
I like how, because you've got the options for solo battles and for versus battles. So versus, obviously, you're playing with other real people, and the solo ones are pretty much where you learn to play the game.
Sure.
You're versing an AI, and I think the way they've done it is great for teaching you how to play the game and getting you comfortable with it as well. Because sometimes the AI can beat your ass. So like it doesn't feel every time like you can auto battle to eventually get to it, but as well you can play it yourself and then learn tricks over time. And if it is really hard, just turn on auto battle because the robot knows better than you.
I would argue that the thing that I've enjoyed, because I would only auto battle at the start and just watch it play out, is that I am better than the AI now. Intentionally. It's designed to be a bit dumb and to make silly strategic decisions. It doesn't ever do anything incorrect, but it will do strategically silly things. So that is what encouraged me to go, I'm going to turn auto battle off and I'm going to play the rest of this game out. And that's how I started. I watched it battle, and then I was like, I know how this deck works now. And it gets halfway through a thing, and I'm like, oh, that's a mistake. Stop. I'm going to play this instead.
Is that still against you can enable that when you're playing against a real human in a proper
I
versus
don't think
match?
you can turn auto battle on.
So
it.
auto battle's just against AI.
Just for
Gotcha.
AI.
Okay.
I will say I hate the flipping coin shit. That's the only thing about it I don't like.
There's a lot of like
A lot of chance.
tedium and animation. I don't mind RNG or like a 50-50 coin flip in a
As
game
part
like
of the
this.
battling, there
Some
can
of the
sometimes-
you build a deck around that, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like
Right.
okay, I want to have a Goldeen. It does 80 damage, but only half the time. And
Yeah.
it's literally if you're playing the tabletop version of the trading card game, you are flipping a coin. So that's stuff that they sell to you as well is like the playmat that you're on, the coin that you can flip,
Yeah,
the card
okay.
back stuff.
And a big part of Pokemon, again, don't explain the rules to me, but unlike your Magics or your other hearts, it's like you know the cards you've got there.
And let me stress, I do not give a fuck about the answer.
give a flying
So
fuck
about the
this.
game, and don't tell me about the game.
But there is a bit where it's like you drawing your cards to play with randomness versus you're building your deck. And well, I guess that always
you have
happens.
you
know
build
your
a
deck.
You
and
build a deck
Of 20 cards.
Of 20 cards, there is a there's better ways to draw
I
those.
guess
cards.
that actually happens in Hearthstone and Marvel Snap
Totally,
and everything. Yeah, it's still all that
it's
kind of
the
like
same as all
build
those
of it.
games. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 more packs.
No, we're going to move on from there.
10 more packs.
I'm tempted to play it
sure.
just to get those free ones at the start and see what the battling is like, because I've always been interested in Pokemon battling card.
I would say the onboarding for the game for the app is really fucking good.
Okay.
Again, because of the addictive quality of it all, and because you can sign up for the subscription thing for free for 2 weeks, so you get more stuff. And like when you download the app, there's 90 minutes of stuff to do, which is not necessarily the case for a lot of those games that have timer-based things. It doesn't let you stop using the hourglasses to keep opening packs, and like it just is showing you things and giving you so much shit for free at the start that by the end of that onboarding, you're like, I've already collected a fair bit and I'm kind of in. That was like the most exciting time that I spent with the game for sure.
Yeah.
Other than now, it's interesting learning how the battling system works and learning how to battle.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. And
It should have existed earlier at some point. shouldn't it?
totally.
Like,
Obviously, there's like conversations around people collecting trading cards that are worth real money, physical things, storing them. Trading card stuff, I've never really liked as like I don't like buying toys or any collectible thing that doesn't leave the wrapping paper. Like I want to fucking play with the thing that I have. I want to bend the cards. I want to fuck them up. And like,
I want to chew on
there's just way less intrinsic value to me to this than there is to any card. Even the worst card that I have upstairs is more interesting than these.
Ed, is there any way? There's no way to actually trade or sell or do anything with it. Like if you've got a
There's
really
no
rare
auction
card,
house yet.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
know if there is.
There's going to be trading,
There's friend trading. Yeah.
but not yet.
Not yet?
Yeah.
I don't know if there'll ever be an auction house.
I don't
in
think
here.
so. I don't think they're going to make it something like that. I think there's
Heavy baton,
Heavy
baby.
baton.
Heavy baton.
That is my favorite.
That's better
Pokemon.
than everything I have in here.
you
But
go.
I've got most of the cards.
but I think trading's not in it yet, but they are bringing it in very soon.
It is. There is. When you go into your friends list, it says trading not available just now.
Yeah, right.
So it is coming for sure.
Yeah, I'm
Wonder-
excited because I have so many doubles.
Well, when you get triples, you can use your Stardust and you can flare up your
Yeah.
cards. It's pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, it's so nice. But like, I will say,
You were giving me shit before about jargon in games, or like not even giving me shit.
All I
being
said
like,
was flare up your cards, mate.
should be doing that.
Keep up.
in
Get some
terms
Riz.
of like in relation to kind of Pokemon's simplicity with this app, it would be great if there was something that I feel like Nintendo has always struggled with is doing a multi-select kind of thing. And with the Flare, it is a whole process of picking the Pokemon, doing the thing, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. It gets so annoying.
I got an update because that is a problem with the game. I agree. Even in the battling and the coin flipping stuff, it's slow
Yeah.
and you have to watch every animation play out, and they're beautiful animations, but I don't want to watch them every time. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, and I haven't played with the app much since I had an update yesterday morning. I think you can tap your screen and skip some animation stuff now.
Yeah. It's
I
just
think it's quick, but maybe as of this morning, Stardust stuff can be quicker.
Your presence.
I don't know if that's. I don't know how true that is. I
Marcus X, wanna let us know?
I felt like I saw that today, but yeah.
Yeah, interesting that it'll at least have something in there with the trading and potential updates to keep it. I'm curious about the trading thing. Does that break the game? I'd be curious to see what that does to the economy of cards and how that actually changes the.
It will be interesting because like schoolyard trading was people either taking advantage of each other, or like in this context, can I give someone, and you could do it in the Pokemon video games, can I give someone a fucking really rare card and all they have to send me back is a heavy baton?
Yeah, and that counts
And
as a
we
trade.
both agreed that that's a fine trade, so that's fine.
A
Like
wonder
that,
trade.
I would hope so. Yeah.
Cool. Look, I like that you're happy about your Pokemon cards. That's sweet.
It's
and
really
your
fun.
and your mum would be stoked as well. Cool. That was Pokemon the card game Pocket. Is that correct? TCG Pocket.
Yep.
Is what you played, Peter. Ali played Planet Coaster 2, and everyone deserves it. And
Change
should
your
stop
review to
complaining.
positive on Steam.
There you
Get
go.
over it.
Let's get overwhelmingly positive. I played Metal Slug Tactics. I think it's overwhelmingly positive. And Ruby, you've been solving crimes and gumshoeing it as a sleuth in Rise of the Golden Idol and Game of the Year potentially for you.
Meow.
Yeah, so there we go.
To me?
To you. I don't know what that is yet, but I do know what's coming up next. It's more Back Pocket with some weird sculptures. Stay tuned.
Australia, we've got something to tell you. We've got news for you. Gonna put some wheels in motion. Get ready, because we're coming through. The Vega bus is coming. And everybody's jumping. Tullamarine to Bendigo. An interstate free disco. The wheels of steel are turning, and the traffic lights are burning. So if you like to party, get on and move your body. We like to party. We like to party. The Vega bus is coming. Paid for and sponsored by the We Like to Party Party.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Here comes the rock, DJ. Batman.
Man.
Batman.
Man.
Batman. Batman.
Batman.
Arkham City.
Arkham City.
Yeah. The Sims.
The Simpsons.
The Sims.
The Simpsons.
The Sims.
The Sims.
Dead cells.
Danger Days.
Dead.
Snake.
Dead.
Snake.
Dead.
Snake.
Wild Hunt.
Wild Ash 3.
Hunt. Wild Hunt.
Hunt of
The Tekken 5.
It's a fire.
Gold and silver.
Sword and Shield.
Black and white.
Sword
Sun
and
and
Shield.
moon.
Command and Conquer. Sword and Shield.
Bangle Rush.
Sword and Shield.
Bangle Rush.
Guilty Gear.
Guilty. Oh, Guilty Gear.
What
No?
now?
Guilty Gear Strive.
Yeah.
So nice.
Hello and welcome back. We saw an ad for the socials, which you
Who the fuck
definitely
is that?
should check out.
She's
It is quite exciting to go on our social media platforms.
Please
As-
calm down, Ruby.
Sorry. As well as that, we saw
she's back up.
the word of the day. Word of the day.
Word of the
we
day.
saw word of the day is skills, baby, and was that made by Z?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Oh, hello, my angel.
Legitimately, that was. Oh, had we worked together before you sent that in? Yeah? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she says yes.
But it was like, when I saw that, like, you'd worked for us as like a cam op before.
Just yes or no questions. Isn't that correct?
Is that true?
Yeah, just nod.
Yes.
And so then when I saw that, did I see that?
No.
Well, we'll move on then.
I go on.
Yeah.
And as well as that, we saw an ad for the Vega Bus. The Vega Bus is coming, and everybody's coming. And funny. Haha, come. Now it's time for Back Pocket's next slot model.
You want to be on time?
So good.
I sent a fucked up brief to Will, and he was like, can you do
He
this?
delivered.
Can you do this? And he's like, yes, amazing. Can we do it one more time, please?
You want to be on time?
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Back Pocket's next slot model is brought to us by BMAC.
I heard moving. Yeah, it is. There was a moan upstairs. Oh.
And with BMAC, we like to go to his website, TLDR Movie Reviews.
Stop it. Stop.
All I'm saying is just use some texture or something, I think.
No, it's fine. It's
Quiet in the classroom, please.
There's enough going on here
This is your lunchtime, not
for
mine.
that to be minimalist.
Just a touch.
When
Are we
we get a
done,
new
boys?
sponsor.
Oh.
Okay.
We're done, boys.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Sorry.
With BMAC, we like to
Got me
go
in
to it.
trouble.
Oh my days.
You too?
Attention!
Out of the class.
Anywho, we like to go to his website, TLDR Movie Reviews, where he does movie reviews and has a little TLDR, too long didn't read at the top. I like to read out the TLDR, and you're going to guess what the freaking movie is.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Jumanji.
Close. No. It has a strong cast, all the bombast you need, and a solid narrative. It is just frustrating that it has these creative choices throughout that. It is just frustrating that it has these creative choices throughout that just rip you out of the film.
It's like it's literally the new Jumanji.
No.
That could be anything.
Venom 3.
No. Damn it. No, that was a perfect movie.
Yeah.
Deadpool versus Wolverine.
Oh.
I assume I haven't seen it, but that sounds like
No.
a
That
solid
sounds
movie.
that's
that
pretty
was
good.
accurate. Yeah.
Nah. It was Gladiator 2.
Oh, shit.
That's sad.
I'm hearing okay. Okay,
I'm
things.
so
Okay.
excited to see
I'm
it.
hearing Denzel's back.
Mm.
And I was like, yeah, he's been.
Oscar buzz.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For
Yeah, shit.
Denzel? Yeah, cool.
Well, I think like Denzel.
Yep.
with-
I assumed he was like a bit part in this, but
No, I
he's
think he's
a
doing
big
the hard
boy.
flex of like really over.
Fuck
He's chewing scenery and stuff.
yes.
Which I'm not saying Denzel ever went away, but he's been equalizing for a while, which is that kind of
Yeah.
Jerry action kind of style, which you think it's not really,
Yeah.
doing the
That's an
Dad
Oscar
revenge.
back.
and it's not that Training Day level kind of.
They took out
charisma.
Denzel's gay kiss. I don't want to watch it.
What?
See, that's the kind
Denzel's
of
gay kiss out of
Gladiator
this
2
new
is the
film.
kind of movie where I want to see all the boys kiss.
Yeah, totally.
And I'll
Yeah.
be
They
honest.
were
and
all
true.
doing it back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, exactly. They loved that. So, thank you, BMAC. Shouts out, BMAC. Thank you very much. Back Pocket's next slot model is so exciting. It's a new segment. Oh, there we go.
You want to be on time?
It's short as well, so we can
Short and
just fucking
sweet.
keep
It's just
playing it.
fantastic.
We'll get sick of it eventually. Why are we doing this segment?
So we're
first?
doing this because Ali's been doing 3D modeling for Mystiques
Yeah.
using a very cool program. Do you want to tell us what it is?
Yeah, it's called Wamp.
Mm.
Womp
womp.
And Wamp is free. It is a browser-based 3D modeling software, so you can do it on like the worst computer in the world.
Amazing.
All the math is happening, I don't know, in the sky somewhere, and it
It's
is
not the cloud, it's the sky.
In the sky.
It's all the sky.
It's up there somewhere. I don't know. But it's so easy if you're not skilled with the 3D modeling because it
Sure.
sort of automatically retopologizes everything for you and you export, so you don't have to really worry about anything.
Cool.
It's very goopy. That's sort of the main feature of Wamp is that there's
Nice.
There's a goop slider.
Amazing.
Yeah.
on every object that you add. You can increase the goop, which makes it like stick to other things. So it'll
So your
create.
splines are all
Yeah.
not.
Reticulating.
Yeah.
They have like a whole bunch of like primitive shapes and then some like premium shapes.
Oh, nice.
They're like,
Oh.
I know.
Your hands went primitive shapes to premium shapes. I'm like, I don't know what you just did.
They're all
What was
like
that shape?
donuts and like rounded cones and stuff. Anyway, that's really great. They also have an amazing material library that's built into it. So like really fun textures and stuff. Like there's a whole food section that's like, this is bread and this is jelly and this is pickle texture. Like so many really fun, amazing, cool like textural things you can do. They also just added a toon shader to it and they added decals to it. So you can make like an entire thing, like an entire game asset or like, 3D art, 2D art, all within Wamp. You can also export it and chuck it in your game. And that's what we've been doing.
Yeah.
To be clear, I'm not the main 3D artist on our game. We have real talented 3D artists.
But that said,
you
you guys have been working with it and incorporating elements into Mystiques?
Yeah, so totally. So
It just sits in your engine and then your lighting model all works on it. And all
yeah,
that.
we just
cool.
we generally will remake the textures when we bring them into Unreal just because we have our own kind of thing that we're doing there.
Yeah, of
But
course.
you could use the one straight out of Wamp as well.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And it is because you did a little talk about it at FreeCon represent and seeing you use it, it looked so easy. And
You did a stage demonstration?
I do. I built
Yeah.
a fucked up little guy.
Well, I drew a guy.
Yeah, you did.
It was beautiful.
And everyone drew little guys and it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was a nice little thing.
Very
and
cool.
I had an idea to give it. Oh, hi George. Mwah. I had an idea to give Wamp a go. For this segment, it was originally going to be Back Pocket's next Wamp model, but let me tell you, Wamp is too beautiful.
But you're saying it's not that. And now it's Back Pocket's next slot model.
That's right.
You want to be on?
Slop. That's actually really good. So instead of using Wamp because it is much too pretty, we decided to instead use Sculpt GT, arguably the ugliest 3D modeler.
I want to give it some credit
Oh,
here.
it's incredible.
It's a cool
Nigronic's making a good point. What the fuck is this segment?
Yeah,
Let's get to that first.
No, I don't want to. So what we have done for Back Pocket's next slot model, Ali is Tyra Banks.
Oh, okay. I'm nicer than Tyra Banks. I'm not going to make anyone cry.
Ali is Tyra Banks, but nice.
On a good day.
And Gus, Pete, and myself are the models. No, we're the sloppers. And so each of us has been given 3 prompts given to us by the Back Pocket community. Thank you very, very much for sending too many. But I think I chose 3 good ones.
Proof that our community really jump on, like, if there's anything serious we need them for, they're like, we're busy today. And we're like, here, we need the dumbest, weirdest prompts ever. 200 responses like that. And it was like, thanks, guys. Really know where your
I
priorities
asked
lie.
for a video game character doing a thing, and they really did that.
Nice.
So we've been given 3 prompts that we each have had to make models of in Sculpt GT.
We are not 3D artists. Let's
We
just
are not
reinforce
3D
that. In fact,
artists.
my 3D class of my uni course was on Friday mornings at 8 a.m. and Thursday night was uni night. So I slept through hungover almost all of them. I should love 3D and be good at it. In my like creative pursuits, I suck at it. I hate it. I've never understood what a spline is. I still don't. And I was like, this will give our chance to be a true 3D model artist.
Yeah, maybe someday. So
Maybe.
you're an artist, but tonight you will be an art critic.
Great.
As we will be presenting each of our works of art prompt by prompt. And over the course of it, you have to choose which one is the best based on how well they fit the prompt, the vibe, the creativity.
You got to
yada,
pick the
yada.
prompt too.
You
You got a few things. You have to look at all of these and
lot
you
of
have to
pressure.
first of all work out what the prompt is. You then need to potentially pick a favorite. And then you need to have a stab at who built what because these are
Okay.
unnamed.
3-pronged.
Prompt, favorite, which one?
Yeah.
Bingo.
Got
Yeah.
it.
So I think we should just get freaking started. Josh,
Okay.
can we go with the first prompt, please?
Well, it's the first model.
The first
yeah.
model of the first prompt.
The first
Yeah,
model of the first prompt.
All right, can we, first the music. Set the scene. Can we crank that? This is some top highbrow level shit. That's why I brought my rosé that's been in the fridge for months.
museum.
Classy.
And let's see our first
That's
piece
a
of
sparkling
art.
rosé, and it was not sparkling when you bought it.
Oh my god.
That's stunning. I really get a sense of his pain. I see who he is. There's a distinctive dad vibe about him.
Dad vibe.
Let's see the next one.
Oh no. This is sickness of the mind that comes with this one.
What jumps out to you here the most?
Why? Yeah, it's the nipples for sure.
And the long string of shit that seems to be strewn across the chest.
He looks like a baby.
Chat just says daddy.
Oh my god. Let's see the next one.
That's the creature from the end of Substance.
Well, that's Monstrolisu.
Okay, so they all have laptops.
Oh my god.
I can't.
That's so scary.
Biblically accurate.
So these are all of our arts.
And
My word.
If you want, Ali, you can ask me, and I can zoom back in on any particular one. If
Which
you
one do you want to look at more?
Yeah.
We're in the gallery now. Spend some time.
Can you show me on the first plinth?
Yes.
There's something else going on the laptop, and
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out what it could possibly mean.
It looks like the Dota 2 logo.
It does, doesn't it?
Okay. Is it okay? All right. Can I guess what the prompt is?
Of course.
Please.
So it's Kratos
Mhm.
looking at parenting websites.
That's nice. That's nice.
And what's the third one doing?
Oh yeah, the third one's simply.
I think it's Dune floating Skarsgård guy.
It's fucking someone. Kurt Russell is
Baron
coming with a
Harkonnen.
flamethrower
Yeah,
right
he's the
now
thing,
and kill
Oh
that
my
man.
god. Could we get the prompt, please?
Oh dear.
You want the prompt now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty
It
much
is
spot on.
Kratos being
overwhelmed by
overwhelmed by
emails.
email.
That's great.
And this was brought to us by Horrible Cabbage. Thank you
Wonderful.
very, very much for that prompt. So,
Who made what?
No, it's pick a fave now, isn't
yeah.
it?
I'll pick a
pick a
favorite.
favorite.
I mean, much as I appreciate and respect 1 and 2, there's clarity, there's form. I understood what the character was. There was some sense of grounding. I really respect the vision of the third one.
Can we go to the third one and zoom in and just notice that the minimalist use of the red dash
The
to
red-
indicate that's like
It's really.
I definitely
it's-
wish I started with this one.
That's what I look
It
like.
would have really thrown
yeah,
you off.
going through my emails. It speaks to the torment of emails. And
Yeah.
so therefore I think
Wow.
it's the most accurate.
Yeah.
And I think that Pete made it.
Fucking did.
Congratulations.
Oh, good
You're wrong.
Thank you.
I think
Oh, my
Ruby
word.
made the second one. The middle one with the tits.
no tits for me.
Oh wow! in
Mickey.
this climate, okay.
In this climate, in this
I
economy.
made the first one, and I was
You just went there.
I was holding my breath so hard when you said something on the laptop because there is a second angle of the laptop of the screen, and it just has a picture of a letter.
Oh, so that would have helped me
Oh, that's
clock
why you
it.
gave me two
Yeah.
angles. I didn't
Yeah.
put one angle on it.
It is
Sorry.
interesting building these things in 3D. I would say mine
Yeah, it
looks amazing from every angle.
Yeah, I can see that.
There's
I-
a real I'm learning the tools vibe. to
Absolutely.
yours.
This was the first one I made.
Yeah.
I will say as well that Ruby said that we had 10 minutes to build these. Ruby went a little over 10 minutes. But I went.
Debatable.
But I got up to do these first thing in the morning this morning, and I messaged Gus,
And I was still
like,
asleep.
and I was like, "Hey, how long were we meant to spend on each of these?" And he was like, 5 minutes. And I was like, "Okay." So I did mine in half the time, and the least skilled person.
And it's so funny because both of them, and this was like later on in the day, both of them were like, Ruby, you only had 5 minutes to do it. And I'm like, I literally said in the
You
chat
did.
10 minutes.
I totally
I started scrolling back up and
misremembered
couldn't
that.
find that part of it. So I was
so
like, "Gus, how long?"
funny.
I misremembered. I'm so sorry, but it did lead to this wonderful.
It led
piece
to
of
some
art.
magic.
And what a victory.
And I like, not to, as I was doing it and realizing I had no fucking clue what I was doing, as I was making it, I was like, I think this does actually capture the horror. Like it's a
Yeah.
feeling.
It's visceral.
So I genuinely believe that I deserve that win
Yeah.
in
No,
this
that's fair.
round.
It's-
Because the other two are like, no offense,
No.
are very quickly kind of bad 3D model of Kratos. You can tell exactly what you're looking at,
Yeah.
and it's not a great version of that. Whereas mine is much more,
Emotional.
a bit
Visceral.
esoteric and a bit,
It's like absurdist.
Yeah.
Potentially,
Yeah,
when we next do this,
Abstract for sure.
2 minutes per sculpture.
Yeah.
We should point out as well, Sculpt GL or GT. I think it's Sculpt GL.
Sculpt GT.
GL, I
No,
think.
GL.
The idea with it is it's trying to say, hey, this is a bit more like all the tools are just pushing and pulling on a blob, like a blob of clay. So it's trying to be like, you don't need to make separate objects, which you can. And so people do amazing stuff with this to make it feel a bit more like they're going for the hand-crafted vibe of it, as you just saw. But that's why we thought, oh, this will be easy. We don't have to learn any tools. There's just one click for like squeeze, stretch, and pull. And Peter used all of them at once.
No, I just use the one and it grabs 2 points and pulls things out at the
Oh,
same.
it does stuff in
so
symmetry
you're
as
doing,
well.
Yeah, that
symmetrical
symmetry
stuff.
is
It's super
awesome.
cool.
Yeah. Back to the gallery, everyone.
Please.
Back to the
Back to the
gallery.
gallery.
Can we go to the second prompt?
Can we get Bach this time?
First off,
It's all Vivaldi. I'm so sorry. Oh my word.
oh,
Oh dear. Is that a little face? Is that a little face in there? What is that? Okay.
Just let the art speak to you
All right.
at this point,
It's
because
taking me to a place.
yeah.
Okay, let's see.
let the art scream at you.
Number 2.
Tits again. Okay, I'm
Tits
all right. I'm
again.
getting it's pyramid head. I can see that. Okay, there's something on it.
It got thrown back over with a club.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Please hide it.
Okay, it's cheese and bread. It's a charcuterie plate. Is it pyramid head presenting a charcuterie to you?
It's pretty much.
Well done.
Very
You know your
good.
art.
I'm very cultured.
That was Pyramid Head making a charcuterie board from Mitchob 1012.
Wow.
How did you make a pyramid shape?
Thank you, Mitch.
Wait, so that
Okay.
indicates which one
All
Peter
right.
made.
And when you heard charcuterie, did you think pills?
I did it in 5 minutes, Ali. And I did a fine job.
It's
That's a cabanossi. It's a
Oh.
cabanossi. And it's a burrata.
Oh, okay.
As prepared by Horsehead Belly Famous.
Belly.
It's Jar Jar Binks.
You've got one big thumb for an arm.
I was trying to do muscles on the stomach. I hadn't discovered many of the tools. at
It
that
looks
point.
like a really
Need my
detailed face if
tools.
you squint.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so
Lordy.
Pete was number 1.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I haven't picked
What's
a
your
favorite first.
though, yeah?
I think my favorite is the third one because it made the charcuterie really leap out at me. The second one, I'm not sure. It sort of looks like a domino or something, some kind of dark game. So the third one is my favorite.
I put grapes on my charcuterie. I can't say that fucking word. Josh, zoom in on my third. Look at my board.
You got a knife in there as well.
I got a knife.
That's so quick.
And some green grapes. Which I
She
thought-
also didn't guess that that was yours.
Yeah, I didn't. I thought the tits one was going to be yours again.
Oh, I thought you did say.
No.
You just
I'll
got picked
take
as
the
fave.
win anyway.
You got the fave
You
for that.
claimed it,
round.
all right.
I'm sorry.
So number 2 is rubies.
Yeah. Or Ubi.
Ruby.
Or maybe I
Yeah.
put olives on. I don't know. I was
See,
wrong.
I
It's
put
limited time.
mortadella
Yeah.
and
That's a block of cheddar
holy
that's
cheese,
moldy.
and then
Okay.
also a brie.
Nice.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
I see that.
What are your? What's your spam?
It's what do you call? It's like when you get the sort of jam, but it's in it's more
like
a
quince
quince
paste?
a
paste.
quince
Yeah.
paste. It's
yeah.
quince,
Yep.
then bread, a little bit of cheese, and some olives.
See, that,
Lovely.
That leapt off the screen. I do
Yeah.
like the little hands that Ruby made.
Ruby's hands are fan
Little
fucking
hands.
tastic. I don't know how to make-
I was so.
I didn't know
proud
how to
of
make
those
any
hands.
angle. You guys have so there was pyramid head, and I was like, I don't fucking know. I'll just squash this sphere until it looks like a pyramid.
My secret was the move tool and then
Yeah.
smoothing. Move and smooth.
Well,
Smooth and
triangle is
smooth.
I was pinching as well. If you pinch
Oh,
the top
that's
of a
smart.
cube, you eventually get a triangle. But
I
I
only ever used drag.
I would
think.
genuinely argue that if they make the next Silent Hill, if that chased me round, that's
Terrifying.
more terrifying than a pyramid
any
head.
3 of them
the
would
duck
be so
head,
The
sad.
duck, like
Yeah.
cow sack
Yeah.
head, is
Yeah.
fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
And all he has to offer you is a cabanossi.
Every-
Cabanossi.
Peter, everything you've made so far would fit in perfectly in an SCP game.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of perfect.
Lovely stuff.
So Gus is the winner of that one.
Thank you. Sorry, ruined a round.
No. It's a new game. Sometimes you got to
Sometimes
fuck
you
it
gotta
up a
ruin
little
it.
bit. Yeah.
Sometimes you got to learn the
Yeah.
rules of.
We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. America's Next Top Model. Let's go to number 3.
And when she pretended to faint.
Oh my god, yes. All right, let's go with the first one of number 3. It's just one of those days, isn't it?
The sad guy and his little friend. He's just making it through the day, you know?
Yeah.
Relatable. I see myself in him. What's the next one?
Please
me
get
another.
us over the screen.
I can't be looking at that anymore. Why?
This music does not suit this art.
He's like a walnut. And, okay.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
oh my god.
I'm picking up signals.
Why is it so wrinkly? This chat.
The texture is troubling. Okay.
Yeah.
I have no idea what this is. Let's see the third one. A lot is hanging on this. Okay. It's a bowling ball. Okay. Oh, is it the moon from Ocarina of Time? Being used as a bowling ball?
I mean, that's a really good guess.
That is an
It
acceptable
was in
answer.
Majora's Mask.
It was
Sorry,
in
I'm
Majora,
sorry,
yeah.
This is
There
actually,
are balls. What do you think?
This is actually the rock from Rock of Ages goes to a bowling alley
I have no idea what
from
that is.
Hero Danger 89.
Rock of Ages is a deep cut.
Yeah.
That was like a cool indie game
Two of
about
them.
yeah, they did a sequel, didn't
They did.
It's like a physics kind of game of a big rock with a face rolling down and you crush
I
it.
see.
Trying
I
to smash
see.
and it had like that sort of 2D flat cartoon art, but it was all historical ages. It was all the it's all
Python-esque.
Monty Python, but it was Sisyphean pushing the boulder up the hill and it kept rolling back down.
And crushing.
And I
Pompeii.
spent too long on mine.
Yeah.
But which one is it?
I'll really quickly
You
show you what.
went over time, did you?
What
It
it's
looks
supposed
like-
to
Maybe
look like.
by about a minute.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I have to pick a favorite
Pick
and
a
then guess.
fave, award the prize.
Yeah,
We should have
you-
given you a ribbon. You could have gone up and held
If
it
you
in
don't
front of
have a
each one.
favorite, you can just leave the museum, the gallery.
Even though number one, it was less clear to me what was going on in terms of the action of the scene. I did really connect. Can I see number one up close again? I just connect with his expression. There's something.
He's definitely got a mouthful of something, like peanut butter.
Yeah. What's he hiding?
He's
There's
got a
some puffed
mouthful of
cheeks.
life. He's holding it in.
Mouthful of life.
He's just like yeah.
It's like a large insect.
I resonate with him, so he's the winner.
Nice.
And who do you think made him?
I have no fucking idea.
Show us
Can I
all
see
three
all
again,
three of
please,
them?
Josh.
Okay. All right. I think the second one might be Pete. The first
I
one.
found a new tool.
And what do you call that? This art?
Deflated volleyball.
That's literally Peter's face when he found the new tool. Look at that smile.
There is like a mischief to his little. And so I think. I actually don't know. Maybe the first one is Gus, and the third one is Ruby.
That's correct.
Spot
Wow.
on.
You
Well done.
got them all.
Name
Smash
Is there a way to copy objects and paste
Yes.
them?
Yeah,
Is that-
annoyingly,
Yeah.
it's just there's copy object and there's no paste object. And
You
when
just
you
have
do
to do
copy
paste.
object, it actually made a copy of it sitting directly on top of the previous one. So it's really fucking hard to be like, wait,
Slide it
copy
around.
made
Okay,
another one.
Yeah.
If we go back to, can we zoom in on Ruby's one? Actually, for connoisseurs of Ruby's art, you actually realize that is Ruby's drawing style on
Yeah,
that. On that
little
wall.
Yeah.
nose.
Yeah.
That's that
Yeah.
little pointy nose, funny eyes.
The nose was the hardest part of this, but I got it.
And let's look at Peter's and look at what was the hardest part of Peter's.
It looks like a really happy ball of dung got a new toy.
Do you know what happens if you cut between Ruby's one now, for me, Josh.
We
made the
pin in
bowling
this one is
pins.
dangerously phallic.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
but not
traveling
intentionally. We
No,
made
I know
bowling
not
pins in a very
intentionally.
similar way.
Yeah.
You
Did
just
you
did
do
it with
the
more
inflate and
finesse.
deflate?
It's just like they're
I
having
did
a
it in 5
conversation.
minutes, Ruby. I did it in 5 minutes.
Weird. I don't know why I said 10.
I was like, I don't have half an hour to make these fucking things. I can do it in 15, and I did.
We clearly could.
So in total, I believe Gus
2 points.
got
the
the,
win.
most. Then Pete,
Congratulations.
Then me.
Thank you. Means a lot. Thank you
Art-
so much.
Art is objective.
Art
and
is
you won.
objective. It's hard to do fast, but yeah, when it comes to 3D modeling, we don't know what we're doing.
And that was Back Pocket's next slot model.
You want to be on
I think we know what the highlight of this segment was.
And that was Back Pocket's next top slot models top.
You want to be on
Slop. And now it's time for Back Pocket's next ad break.
You want to be on
Game plan? In November? Where has the time gone? And this heat? Get ready to get your blocks off with LEGO Horizon Adventures, which covers the original story of Machine Hunter Aloy in a LEGO-fied way. Tetris Forever includes more than 15 playable Tetris games and a new game called Tetris Time Warp. It's just a block to the left. And then a block to the right. It must be 94 again because Little Big Adventure Twinson's Quest is here with fresh new visuals plus all that weird French absurdist stuff. Do I recommend? Trey's Wii. The Rise of the Golden Idol is the sequel to the award-winning detective game and a great game for anyone who likes being overwhelmed with words. In trippy puzzle adventure Great God Grove, you've got to suck up the dialogue boxes of the characters you meet to use in other conversations. And finally, Petite Island has you playing as a cute little kitty cat who's trying to preserve her relatives' memories by reliving them on a tropical island. I'm sure my cat Lando would love to play a game like that, right buddy? Right. Okay, that's the game plan. I have to go check on something. Goodbye. Oh God!
Are you poor? Ew. Is high couture out of your price range? Oh, that's no good. Do you want to look like you're about to say something really mean, but in a fun, non-threatening way? Don't worry. Sass and Less has you covered with our new line of sassy fits for a patronising price. Worry no longer about reading a bitch to filth in an outfit that invites a rebuttal. You will be slaying. We've got outfits for every occasion. Giving, serving, farm work, slaying, playing, thriving, surviving, and more. If you're out in the town dancing the night away or even just not really posing for a totally candid photo, these styles are the styles to make you look like a total bitch. We've got them all, girl. And when you've got them all on, there's only one word that will come to mind. Fashion is constantly evolving, and with our new line of items that do not match, you're bound to stand out in a good or bad way. Quality clothes at a price that says, hey, shut up. Where? At Sass and Less, guaranteed.
Welcome back to the show. We saw a word from Miss Jenkins' spin. Very cute. We saw the game plan and we saw the sassless ad.
Do it in the voice.
People looking fucking cool. And we saw the ad from Sassless. Get in now. It's somewhere in there.
Mr. 90s.
Somewhere in the pocket. Sorry?
The doggy was so cute.
So spinny. We are very, very thankful for our returning back pocket business partner in Buri Buri. And Buri Buri sponsors this show in a way that helps us make it every week. Buri Buri is an Australian IP lawyer with a passion for working with indie developers. This may be interesting to you, Ali. Listen up. If you've stolen some assets, you might need a hand from Buri.
Did you sign that Wamp license before you grabbed all those assets?
If Antiques Roadshow's coming for you, Buri will fight for you.
Her work involves assisting game developers and creators with protecting their IP, securing screen agency funding, and negotiating with publishers. If you're a working game dev that finds the legal side of the industry to be a bit of a blur and you want to make sure you're getting the most out of your deals with the big dogs, Buri will fight for you. And if you don't use Buri, we will fight you.
That's our guarantee.
That is the back pocket guarantee. So Buri's out there just trying to make a difference in the world. Can I ask Ali why you're not using Buri?
Yeah.
Do you not care about?
Comment.
No comment.
I assume that is something that's important in the gaming development scene, is to make sure you lock that stuff down early, and that you make sure that people aren't either coming after you or that, there's multiple scenarios that you could employ a Buri for.
It's one of the main reasons that we started Lemonade, is that a bunch of us were sick of companies we work for owning things that we make. So
Yeah, right.
own your own stuff.
Own your own stuff.
That should be our next motto, not we'll fight you, or we will fight for you. Own your own stuff, or potentially, or
we'll fight you.
We'll fight you. Hoping for a close-up on that one, but no, apparently not. Josh says, he's back. Hey,
He went to the toilet again.
I'll fight you, Josh. We'll fight you. But
Not
own your own
Josh.
stuff.
Why are you fighting Josh?
Why are you fighting me? I'm prepping the next segment.
Thank you, Buri,
Thank you,
for
Josh.
your ongoing support for the show. We couldn't make this show without,
As we say every week,
generous
if
support.
you do need to use some of Buri's skills, reach out to us and we can get you in contact
We'll
with...
hook you up.
We'll hook you up.
Yep.
We got lawyers.
Yeah,
We actually own Buri's website IP.
We own the building. She just
Yeah.
rents the
we're
office.
paralegals.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I'll take
Fancy.
that.
Isn't that where you drop out of a plane at night? And
that's a
pull a
parachute.
Are we
Oh,
are we
Why
clerks?
at night?
Are we clerks?
Clerks is Silent Jane
Pretty
Bob.
city lights.
So wait, are we clerks then? Ballparks?
No, Clark is Superman.
Am I suits? Can I be suits?
Soup.
You can be Denny Crane.
Ooh.
Denny Crane was Shatner's character in, I think,
Boston Legal.
Boston Legal.
because he always used to say
Throwback.
Denny Crane. That's the only reason I remember that character's name.
I like that show.
That was pretty cool. James Spader.
Yeah.
I'm the
I'm gonna be House.
Got
Can I be
nothing.
House now? I've forgotten what the brief was.
Yeah, it's Lucas. You definitely have
Yeah.
Lucas.
I'm
Thank you, Buri.
Frasier.
Let's get on with the show. We've got on other screens.
Nice.
On other screens is brought to us by Dump Days. Dump Days, the amazing Ibis artist and more, a comic strip creator, and we have a Dump Days comic that we're going to read for you now.
Excellent.
We've not seen this. Josh says it's a premium one.
Well, they're all premium. Mate.
Oh,
They are all
well
premium.
done, sir.
We
They're-
looked through a few today, but this one apparently is pretty fun. Topical.
This one has 3 characters.
Okay. I won't play one.
Damn it! I was
You
gonna
guys
tap
can
out.
fight. Let's go, just because it makes sense in my head. Gus, because you're facing that way.
That makes sense. I get
And
that.
then we'll go Ali's middle Ibis, and then Ruby is last Ibis.
Okay.
Easy. Marvelous moo, my good man.
Why, thank you, friend. Your mo is exquisite.
What's happening?
We've got mustaches for Movember.
Look at how full-bodied and lush they are.
But we're birds. We don't grow facial hair.
There's a whole bag of body parts over there. What a school.
I found a hand.
Oh, God.
That turned dark quickly.
That turned dark, and I turned into Austin Powers, and I apologize.
Baby.
Oh, good stuff. Again, props to Dump Days, not just for going, I like doing art, but I'm also going to delve into the world of punchline setup comic art, which is that you've got to get to a punchline panel.
Well, that's
You can't
what,
te-
that's what I used to do.
That's it.
back
But
when
you
I
can't
still
just
made
tell your joke in the whole setup.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, as I said, props to the comic timings of that 4th panel gold that we just got there.
Absolutely.
And then went back and
Bravo. Now, on other screens is the segment where we talk about things that we've been watching on YouTube, movies, TV. We also used to say that it could be like if you're reading it on a Kindle, it counts, but we're not really doing that
No one
much.
does that.
But it is also tonight has an extra special little cherry on top, thanks to the team at Sugoiko, who have dropped the first season of Arcane on Blu-ray. They're the Australian distributor of this lovely Steelbook 4K Ultra HD version of the first season of Arcane, which is a favorite here in the studio. We have a copy here. We're going to give you, thanks to Sugoiko, we're going to give you a chance to win a copy of this for yourself.
I'm showing how steely it is.
It is very steely. We will do a Nightbot roll at the end of this segment, so stick around for that. If you're interested, we'll do a roll, but it is, I love a Steelbook.
Me
I just
too.
like to. The very first one I got was Halo 2, the game.
Oh,
Halo
me
2,
too.
the limited
Oh, yeah.
edition, and it was like popping that open feels good.
The joy of a Steelbook is that, or from the producers or the manufacturers, it makes every other thing inferior next to it. And so everything has to be Steelbook after that. So
Also, I just love physical media.
Physical media,
Yeah.
beautiful. This show, just artistically fucking exceptional. And so to own a copy of it in the highest def you can is a pretty cool thing.
And you can watch that on both consoles now, PlayStation and Xbox.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Does PlayStation 5 do Ultra HD 4K? Because I know that Xbox does.
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure PlayStation 5 does as well.
Watch it on your local 4K Ultra HD system. But yes, Gus, do you want to kick us off with what you've been watching, not playing?
Yeah, this is not what I've been playing. This is what I've been watching. And I've been watching this for the past year and going back through all previous videos. But this is a YouTube channel that I got onto, about the start of this year called C90 Adventures. Now, for anyone who is a fan of your Top Gears or your Grand Tours, that kind of stuff, this is a YouTube channel by a guy called Ed March. He's a charming young British bloke who moved to the States, and he's an engineer, and he started making a whole series of videos doing C90 is a type of, I believe, Honda. It's like a postie bike, and he would take that bike from the top to the bottom of America, and by America, South and North America. He did all of that. He would take that motorbike in all different places, Southeast Asia, that kind of stuff, and make these video diaries along the way. And they are really charming in how slapdash he puts them together. That said, it's a one-man operation, so by slapdash, it's still a hell of a lot of work. The series really peaks currently where it's at in that he has, for his last series of videos, been doing up a mini Jeep, which is a toy Jeep, essentially, that you would buy for kids. And he decided to buy this little Jeep, called it Willie, and he drove it. He's on his second trip with it, but he was driving it. The first one was to Moab in America, through like the Midwest of America, full off-roading, all this outdoor adventuring kind of stuff, video diaries along the way, and they are absolutely just utter joy to watch. I am not a petrol head or a rev head by any means, and he doesn't go into it in that level of detail. It is purely for the sense of adventure, a sense of doing something really stupid, and then just keeping your spirits up while you go on this adventure. This is the second series where he's now taking it to Area 51 from somewhere else in America. I don't quite know the
Area
geography.
50, probably.
Probably, that makes sense.
52.
Maybe.
But
Depends which way he's going.
exactly.
That does make sense. The mixture of, as I said, the general optimism, the silliness, and the light YouTube editing, which again isn't forced. You can tell it's one person who's learned how to edit and gone, that's as much as I need to do, but puts in a real sense of silly British humor through the whole thing, and does definitely hit hurdles along the way that are to do with the vehicle, to do with problem solving. And a big part of that problem solving for him is actually how he gets help along the way. He's in the middle of America. He's got a British accent. And
Trump's America.
Trump's America now. You would expect a lot of the people he runs into to potentially meet these challenges with apprehension or sort of difficulty. He is so disarmingly charming and silly and light and just, as I said, really, really wonderful when you go back and watch his whole story of where he's come from. it's just wonderful watching him kind of disarm, not literally, a lot of the American people he meets and how much they
cannot
just
disarm an American.
how much they get on board with what he does. The one little scenario I'll just point out as an example, and it gets silly. It does, like I think you saw him driving across a lake with pontoons. He meets engineers and like they give up their free time because they just love what he's doing, and he's so generous with how he helps them along. And it's just a YouTube channel that he runs, and people I've subscribed. I've bought the videos. He 3D printed his little Willy Jeep as a USB stick with all the episodes on it. I bought the T-shirt. I
Is
should
it
have worn it.
distributed in 4K Ultra
It is
HD
not.
as a
I think it's
steelbook
probably
thanks
in
to
like
Sugoi.co?
It's potentially in 4K, but it's not in a steelbook yet. And I have supported the videos as much as I can at this point because they're also like 50-minute videos. So it's like, I like long form YouTube now, and I really do enjoy settling in for this kind of stuff. The scenario I'll just point out that happened recently was that a part of his bike broke and he couldn't really set off on his little trip before he got it fixed. He's in a weird little backwater town. He realizes he has to go to the one mechanic in town. He goes in there, and again, it's documented in a way that's snappy that'll keep your attention. It's not too slow and he doesn't go into too much detail.
Not like this.
Not like this. He goes in there and he basically says, I asked them if they could help me. The young guy said, I'll go check with my boss. And he sort of says, at this point, if this guy doesn't help me, I'm screwed. So I really am just waiting for someone to come around the corner that is the right kind of person that can help me. And he kind of keeps the whole thing running as you're just standing at the desk waiting for someone to come from the back of house. And you're waiting and you're waiting and you're like, if this guy can't help or doesn't want to help, he's screwed. The guy comes around the corner, he's like, I love your videos, and comes running up to him. And you're like, and he is just like, oh my God, what are the chances? They go to the back, they start fixing the bike, they can't get it done in time. The guy's like, you can come and like basically stay at my house. He stays at his house. He's like, I'm going to drive you to your starting point the next day. They get to the starting point, a huge snowstorm rolls in. The guy's like, you should still do this anyway, helps him get the bike running, takes the whole day off to help this guy, and off he sets on his journey. And it's just, there's moments like that through all this video that is so inspiring. And and a lot of his videos finish with him just saying, I hope you take something from this, which is go do something. It doesn't have to be as monumental, doesn't even have to be in any way as adventurous, but do something that makes you go, I don't know if I can do that, and I'll give it a shot. I know that sounds a bit wanky, but my God, like I just found these so wonderful. And now I'm going all the way through his back catalog to his slightly more like learning the ropes stuff, where he's just doing basic travel vlogs and things like that. And again, I just can't not recommend this guy's spirit and his gumption and his attitude and his editing. It's just a joy. So yeah, C90 Adventures, Ed March, buy his t-shirts and stuff. Like they will chew up your like a weekend.
I love that you
watching
can remote
these.
control it.
He does. Yeah, this is at one point he gets so
That's so
bogged
cool.
that he can't ride. His weight brings it down. So he put a remote control and he tows himself along behind it just for fun. So so it can actually work. It's just lovely. It's so good. There's so much more stuff like this on YouTube these days.
Check this shit out, Pete.
Oh
Put
yeah,
tracks on it.
this is where he gets up to because the snow is too thick. And there's also drama. There's full moments of like, what would you do now? It's like he's just like, I'm just trying to stay warm and stay happy and just try to continue on. It's better than most of what's being made on TV at the moment, honestly. And even he does the whole thing where he sets the tripod up and then runs back and grabs it and picks it up, and you're like, yeah, it's just such good work. So yeah, check this out, C90 Adventures. It's a YouTube channel. Yeah,
America's so cool.
It
Except
really
for the
makes you.
people. But the landscape is so beautiful, isn't it?
End of the first Will It Make It to Moab? That's the first series. Purely to get to the end and listen to the music video he makes and the messaging he has in it. It's worth the whole ride. Honestly, check it
Amazing.
out. It's very
Cool.
good.
C90 Adventures.
There it is.
Ruby,
Yes.
you went to the movies recently.
I went to the movies.
cinema.
Me, I love going to the movies. And
Tell us about
I
that.
went to the movies with Josh.
You sure did.
Isn't that right, Mackenzie?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mackenzie, I can't hear you. Did Josh and I go to the movies?
Yes.
I wish he ran up and
Thank
said,
you.
back pocket's next slot.
So me and the bestie Josh went to the movies and we saw Saturday Night, the new biopic movie about the very first episode of Saturday Night Live. And kind of what was it, 2 hours before?
It was 90 minutes and the movie was real time.
It was real time. So it was...
Was Kiefer Sutherland there?
No,
He's famous for that shit.
no, that would stress me out. Much like
It was
24.
90 minutes. Yeah, not 24. What are you talking about,
Yeah,
Peter?
it was 90
Idiot.
minutes of pure freaking adrenaline. And so basically takes you through all the crazy shit that was happening prior to
Was there
them going
cocaine?
live. Yes.
Oh my God, what?
And there was a weed as well.
What? Mary Jane? Am I right?
Is that Chevy Chase?
Okay, so I got notes, but so this movie shot on film, so it looks beautiful. Like from the get go, it just looks absolutely gorgeous. And when it comes to the characters, because arguably a big part of this movie is.
And did you come to the characters?
Peter, shut up.
Yes. So a big part of this movie, obviously, is the characters, because a big part of Saturday Night Live is the cast, and especially that early cast ended up being some of the greats in comedy acting. I think Corey Michael Smith, three-named guy, plays Chevy Chase, and that man is Chevy Chase.
It is, yeah.
And what I really, really liked from this movie is that different actors in it, I think, everybody shone in my eyes, but different people for different reasons. Corey Michael Smith felt like Chevy Chase from how he looked to how he acted to what he said. That was a spectacular performance, truly standout. As well, another
Really
one of
quick, Ruby, sorry. If I can be so bold as to interrupt. Aussie Manny just said in the chat how insufferable was he. That's a key aspect of being Chevy Chase. The thing is, Chevy Chase in those days was extraordinarily charming, but they had a really, really cool way of dealing with what Chevy Chase is like right now in the modern day. In a specific scene that was very funny.
Yeah, but he's charming in the movie, but he's also kind of a dick as well. And the same thing is shown with Matt Wood, who plays John Belushi. Arguably, very, very clear that he was super hard to work with, a bit of a diva, seemed to be pissed off all the time, would just do his own thing, which was very much portrayed by Matt Wood, who once again looked exactly like him and just did a fantastic job. Another couple of shout outs to Ella Hunt and Kim Matchler, who respectively played Gilda Radner and Jane Curtin. They were absolutely show stopping. I think Kim looked a lot like Jane Curtin. Ella, not so much, but they did such a great job of portraying these, arguably very, very important women in comedy. And then another really standout performance, but no visual likeness to me at least, was Dylan O'Brien? Dylan O'Brien playing what I like to call a yassified version of Dan Aykroyd. Like, I unfortunately was looking at the screen going, oh my days, because he looked beautiful. And like, it was a great performance because like his mannerisms were very Dan Aykroyd. The way he was talking was very Dan Aykroyd. Didn't look like him. But it worked. It worked because of the way he was acting.
Yeah, that's interesting as well, because most of SNL is about people who don't necessarily look like people, but it's a lot of character work stuff, and they're playing real people often on that.
You're going to detail about the film. Did you liked it? You loved it?
I really, really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, cool.
I always have a thing of finding that I enjoy movies a lot more when I see them in the cinema rather than seeing them at home. I guess it's just part of the experience. And I will say that the two biggest actors in this film were J.K. Simmons and Willem Dafoe. Other than that, the rest of them kind of exclusively in TV shows or unseen, which I thought was really, really cool, but also spoke to the fact that Saturday Night Live started pretty much with a bunch of nobodies.
Yeah.
And I think it worked really, really well.
Gabriel LaBelle, who played Lorne Michaels in it. So I watched this recently and I really enjoyed it, but I streamed it and wasn't expecting to watch the whole thing and sat through the whole thing and was actually like really into it. But I was in it for him. I found the rest of the performances, I'm not just throwing you shade for that. They were caricatures and they were impersonations and they're very good and they all worked in their own little moments. And they acted well, but I don't think that really carried me. What got me was the story of Lorne Michaels producing it, being almost set up to fail. And I thought he did like such a good job of being the kind of the protagonist that you are rooting for, who you're thinking it's all going to fall apart.
So
vibes.
maybe I'm just reading into it a little too much, but considering that Lorne Michaels was the protagonist and he's kind of played very straight man, the fact that they were all caricatures of those actors almost felt intentional. He's
the real man around all the kind of chaos and the circus, which it literally is. And I think that's a really good point. My other thing that I hated the time mechanic, because they did the shot in real time is bullshit. There'd be like 20 minutes of stuff on screen and then the timer would go beep 1 minute and you're like, why is this even here? That for me was a bit like of an idea at the start that they never really followed through. They could have just said it was the lead up to the first night and they didn't need this there's only an hour to go. Because
when you say it ticked 1 minute, Gus, that was the time had changed. They weren't trying to say that was 1 minute.
I know what you mean, but for me, like the idea of even the fact that the film is 2 hours and more than 2 hours of stuff happens in the film because of editing and time jumps. These characters travel around and do a lot more. It felt like it was the evening of, and so I found that aspect of it really kind of took me out of it.
That's a hard sold conceit at the start, is it? It's like 90 minutes and you're watching a clock ticking down, and then it's 2 hours before the show. Actually, 2 hours of real time before the show starts.
There are full screen cards where a clock ticks.
Right.
Or like a digital clock.
So they just put that up whenever they feel.
Yeah, it is
like
an hour and a half.
But the characters are
before the
doing a
show
lot
starts.
more and moving around a lot more.
But
and
it's
a lot
not an
more is
hour. It's
happening.
not happening actually in real time.
Not really, no. The way it's been edited, it isn't. It's
a dramatization.
Yeah, cool.
Of course.
And
Sorry,
the other,
I just thought I thought that was a selling point of this film, was that it happens in real time. But sorry.
Yeah.
No, and I thought it was all going to be because there's a long oneer at the start, and I was like, is this whole film going to be this? Like, I don't know if I like that these days. And they use it effectively because they are doing that almost not Birdman, but like traveling from chaos to chaos, and the camera will follow what's more interesting. I like that, but I think it definitely got tiring, and I wanted to just focus on the characters near the end.
I think it is pretty on the money. Like, I just double checked the runtime, and it's an hour 49 minutes. So
I'm not saying that it isn't. I'm saying that what the characters are doing and how they're teleporting around the world and having conversations, I feel like they're all happening longer.
I mean, you also have to suspend your disbelief a little bit and remember that two things may be happening at the same time in different places. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm talking about one character did a lot in that time, and it's almost impossible.
Well, but that's also something that I feel like speaks to it as well, is the fact that so much happened in the dramatization, but so much happened in that 90 minutes before the show, and that's why it was so chaotic. But that's why it was so impressive that it all came together in the end. You know what I mean?
Totally. I haven't seen the film. It sounds to me like maybe it didn't lean hard enough into that idea that you set up that the film apparently sets up, is Lorne Michaels is real and everything around him is just like blown up to be something a bit larger than life. Like the characters are the people and that's why performances are different. Like I'm thinking like of the Elton John biopic, which is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And that is all fantasy, and then moments of like sitting in real, and then crazy fantasy again. And I thought that was really interesting filmmaking. Yeah. Maybe this doesn't go hard enough in either direction.
I don't think it does because,
the line a bit,
again, there's only half an hour to go, and in that time, Lorne leaves the building, goes to a different place, has a drink, goes somewhere else, talks to someone, has a midlife crisis, comes back to the building. That all happens in the 20 minutes left in the film, but they all say that happened in real time in also the last 20 minutes before the show started. And it's like, for me, that was the fantastical conceit that I don't think they nailed.
You couldn't suspend disbelief for.
No, what I could, however, sorry to slightly railroad this, is that this is a fictionalized version of how all this it takes real anecdotes and kind of puts it all into this one night. So there's aspects of the Andy Kaufman doing his Mighty Mouse song and all that kind of stuff. That's part of SNL. That didn't happen on this night to win them the show, to get them there. So I actually really loved that about it. That they were like, let's handpick these moments that have been seen or captured either on camera or in anecdotal and put it all in that one night to kind of make it the amalgamation of what SNL was back then. I really liked that part of it.
Yeah, and I watch a film like this for a vibe. And if the vibe maintains, then I love it.
Well, I watched this, really, really loved it, and it's I still haven't watched it yet, but it's made me want to watch the first episode of Saturday Night Live to see the result of it.
Totally. You should do that. It's not good. Old
Yeah.
SNL is shit.
Oh, yeah.
And it's arguably like messy because they are young 20-year-olds in America in the 70s doing stoner comedy. And I think the last thing I would say is that I didn't mind, I enjoyed this because I don't care about those actors and I don't care about early SNL. I care about early Python. And if it was a film like that taking massive creative liberties about early those people, I'd probably take offense to it and not enjoy it. But I have so little interest in these guys. Even though I know they're comedy classics, I don't care about them. I'm like, good job characterizing them and making it a fun, rollicking romp of a film.
Oh, and can
Hey,
I
I'm
just
starting SNL episode 1. No spoilers, please. Dolphin fans.
can I just say, Cooper Hoffman, who
Yeah.
plays Dick Ebersol. He is the son of Philip Seymour Hoffman,
One of his
and
greats.
you can
He's in the blue suit?
blue suit.
Yeah,
you
fuck,
can
you feel
feel
that.
that
You really
talent
can.
is
He's so
generational.
great.
Yeah, really.
He plays a
That's so
beaten
cool.
character who has a moment of like strength, which is such a Philip Seymour Hoffman
Yeah.
trend to be like, I'm the underdog who has this moment of patheticness and then I kind of step out.
He's got this back and forth, like this inner
That is good.
turmoil of
Yeah.
like, I need to serve the corporate overlords, but I also have a passion for new age comedy, and he just nailed it.
I think
he
Will-
was
So
awesome.
good in
I think
Licorice
Willem-
Pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you
was
seeing
he
this?
I
in?
loved him in
He's in
Licorice
Licorice
Pizza.
Pizza.
Oh my
Pizza.
He's,
god.
he's the protagonist. He's great in that.
Yeah,
Just
right.
being like a really tortured, awkward young man.
I feel like the legend lives on. You know what I mean?
It sounds like it's an interesting enough film to give it a crack.
I recommend it. I really loved it. I think that, you know, what is a perfect movie? I don't know, Paddington 2, but like when it
so you
comes,
do know a perfect movie.
it is
Yeah,
Paddington 2.
It is.
But I like every movie has flaws, ways in which it could do something better. But I still think this is well worth the watch.
Yeah, cool.
Candy
It is
Wright,
delightful.
Candy Wright says they didn't do Jim Henson well. I think they did. He
think
didn't
they
actually
did.
play a big part in it. The actor who
Nicholas
plays him,
Braun was
he also
Jim Henson and Andy Kaufman,
And,
which almost felt like an Andy Kaufman bit as a
Totally.
whole.
It's just a little thing that he was there at the early days of SNL, so they just like popped him in there as a little. You were in the wrong crowd, and that's kind of what it feels like. I liked it.
The point of the film sounds like there's a bunch of famous people that you recognize, and they were all there on that night making,
but they
this,
weren't.
But at the
making
time-
this thing.
at
But they
the
weren't.
time
They
they
were
weren't.
20 minutes away.
Yeah.
At the time, they weren't big celebrities.
No,
you know
but
what
they
I mean?
obviously, yeah, they are now.
Don't we all love where Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase are these days? Ugh.
I love the skull
Aykroyd's
vodka.
fine.
Huh?
Yeah, the skull vodka is
Dan
great.
Aykroyd. He's
He's
Tell
not.
us about
Uh-oh.
Nightbreed, Ali.
Nightbreed's so good.
what the hell is
So-
Nightbreed? I've never heard of
So
it.
I'd never heard of it either, but I'm a big Cronenberg head. I wore one of
Hell
my 3
yeah.
Cronenberg
And you
shirts.
did vote for
You've got
for
three.
Peter's model did win. So
Yeah,
yeah.
Cronenberg did
That's
that.
right.
love
I'm
Cronenberg.
showing my hand there. So I'm a big Cronenberg head, and recently I've started making letterbox lists for the first time.
Cool.
And I started making a letterbox list of like go-to Cronenberg cameos in movies because it's popped up in like 3 or 4 things that I'm watching unexpectedly. So then I started to look into more of his acting career, and I found this movie Nightbreed. I understand it's like a cult classic. I've literally just never heard of it. But Cronenberg plays the villain in the movie. So like he's part of the core cast. It's not a cameo. It's a huge performance from him, and it's great. I was so blown away by how much I enjoyed this movie. So Clive Barker movies. So
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's dude. If you like Clive Barker,
I
it's
grew up reading.
fucking sick. So like,
Okay.
it's a horror action movie. It's about this young man who is going through like a mental health crisis, and David Cronenberg is his therapist. And his therapist convinces him that he is a serial killer, that he's responsible for this slew of really violent, like family annihilation murders in his city. And he, you know, obviously has a psychotic break, and then he's in a mental hospital, and he meets this other guy who's like, oh, we're going to go to this special place where like sick and twisted people like us who have done these violent things go. He's like, what are you talking about? And the guy rips his face off. Anyway, it's amazing. But they go to this place, which is like a cemetery called Midian, which is a world for evil creatures to withdraw from society and live together in.
Okay.
Let's not talk any more about the plot, because
Yeah,
that's sort of where it
That's
falls
the
apart.
point. Oh, right. Okay, right.
Is that one last sort of half question? Is that a like plane of existence, or it's just a place they go
It's
to?
a place they go to,
It's
and
just
anyone
physically a
can
place
go
they
there.
go. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
And they do.
Yeah, because
So-
I was like, Clive Barker stuff's often kind of like separate planes and different
Yeah.
worlds, but I'm like,
There's
do they
an-
just go to a pub? It's like, this is the...
the whole thing is definitely like a metaphor for being queer in a heteronormative society.
Yeah,
like it's
right.
very
Cool.
that's what Clive Barker's stuff is always about, but it's really clearly about that. Like they face police brutality. This guy's obviously facing like oppression at the hands of the medical system, all that kind of stuff. But what is really sick about it, aside from all of those things, is there are so many ideas in this movie. Clive Barker initially wanted this to be a full franchise with like multiple films, TV show, as recently as like 2020, they were talking about doing the TV show again.
Nightbreed, yeah,
there were
cool.
comics, there were 2 games.
Really?
It's a whole thing. And you see it in the movie just how many ideas he had. It doesn't fully work, but it's so fun to watch when you can tell that this is a world that he's so passionate about. The parts where the film lingers and breathes and spends a lot of time in is nothing to do with the plot, nothing to do with the characters, really. It's more just this idea of this world. And so the first time that you arrive in Midian and you go through the like layers of this underworld, the sequence is so long. It is so long. You see
Unnecessarily
so
long.
many creatures, so many different full prosthetic makeups, so many different ideas and concepts, like rooms in this underground world that you could never possibly like. The thought of like how that many characters were concepted and prosthetic and like actualized into the film is insane. Like this must have cost so much money. But it's so great. And I think it's a really solid Cronenberg performance as well, because he's playing this like nuanced villain who is the serial killer. That's not really a twist. It's very clear from the start. Is serial killer, is the manipulative kind of father figure, but there's also like this queer undertone between their relationship as well. And so Cronenberg obviously loves to play in that space and is doing this kind of effeminate performance, and it's just so good.
Has he acted in a lot of stuff that either he's been part of? I think.
Oh, well, I've got a great letterbox list for you.
Please. I don't think I've ever seen a film or know that I've been watching him
He's
in
a
a film.
lot of like showing up as a guy for like one scene as like, so in
He's Hitchcocking.
yes, he's Hitchcocking in like have you seen To Die For, the
No.
Nicole Kidman movie? Okay, Gus Van Sant, another film, really really good Nicole Kidman crazy performance. Cronenberg shows up as like a shadowy man who like ushers her into a car and she disappears, like that kind of.
Yeah,
he does a lot
sure.
of that kind of role. But no, yeah, Nightbreed, fantastic. You
Interesting.
can stream it on Prime and it's sick.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, rentable on Apple and Amazon Video.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say I reckon this has an amazing trailer with all that kind of like late 80s, early 90s voiceover and like
Yeah.
slice effects. And like
On YouTube, you can see a whole bunch of the like really home video aesthetic, but like making of footage that they have of the actors coming together many years later for the release of the director's cut.
Yeah.
Because Clive Barker was really unhappy with the theatrical release
Right.
and went through like years of anguish about getting the director's cut made.
Is this the director's cut that you watched on Prime?
No, so I could only get the theatrical cut. You have
Okay.
to buy the director's cut on DVD.
Well, that's the thing. This looks like the kind of movie that would have a very cool Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
It
mean?
should.
Like a
It
very cool
should.
4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, thanks to Sugoi.
I didn't even mean to do that,
better,
but
Mitch.
that was perfect.
But it was considered like a commercial and critical flop when it came out, but since then, like, it's found its people.
Yeah,
Very cool.
amazing.
I love when movies.
And
do
shot
that.
on film, so it looks good.
Bingo.
Bingo.
It's like an unfortunate reality that it's
Yeah.
like I saw Strange Darling, and the movie literally opens with like black background, red text, shot exclusively on 35mm film, and I was like, all right.
We found a-
Unfortunately, that movie looked fantastic.
Just let us feel it. Don't tell us.
Yeah.
Totally. And yeah,
We can tell.
we don't need to go into that.
add some noise in After Effects. It's
Visual,
fine.
Yeah.
visual can be amazing.
Round us out, Peter.
Yedlin has all the tricks.
No.
Steve Yedlin. Arcane season 2 is partially out. The first 3 episodes have dropped, so the first block has arrived. It picks up directly where the first season ended. The rocket midair, fired by that character.
Jinx.
Thank you. And going towards
The big tower.
the other
That's as much as I-
the other characters.
I watched the recap and I'm like, I saw all this, but I don't. I have
Yeah.
no memory of this.
So to me, Arcane is
This will be spoiler free, guys.
Oh,
Sorry,
totally.
This will be spoiler free because I don't remember the plot. So I cannot spoil anything. But I don't know these characters. I don't know this world. I know that is the point of Arcane, is kind of to flesh out the League of Legends universe, which has happened in compendium tome kind of stuff in the past, but this is a story being told for the first time.
She looks like me.
These characters are being developed out in a bigger way for the first time, and this is to me a creative execution that is just so interesting, scene to scene, second to second. It follows a bunch of characters that people would recognize from the League of Legends video game interacting with each other in a story that is ultimately about the relationship, the dynamic between two sisters. And are they blood-related sisters or are they adoptive?
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. And it's that the kind of breaking down of that relationship that causes the tension between, or is kind of the highlight of the tension between the two worlds that exist as well. This kind of upper class, wealthy, healthy society and the grungy undercity that is full of Hextech. Hextech is the exclamation mark Nightbot roll to win the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. It will be. And it is off to a really strong start, season 2. I really enjoyed the first season. I watched through it twice. I still couldn't tell you the plot. But again, to me, this is so much about just like moments and creative execution of the storytelling.
3 more eps drop tomorrow, Gumdrop says. Yeah, right. I didn't realize
Yes,
it was.
the next 3 are out tomorrow.
There we go.
Very exciting.
It's cool. It's interesting. I loved getting into this at the start, but I feel like the way these stories are told, and I'm probably going to hit a bunch here. We're not rolling it. Just
We're not rolling it yet.
Are entries open yet?
I think they might be.
Yeah.
Sure, go
Okay.
for it. We'll roll it in a bit. I don't want to say that I am critiquing anything about the story here. The fact that it just seems to fracture off in a way that gets overly convoluted in a way that is setting up not so many, but like some complex story threads here to keep bouncing between them. Like, shows like, Game of Thrones and stuff do. But it's weird. I really enjoyed following the first season until I just would tune out for 5 minutes and look back and be like, whoa, I've completely missed something here. And that would keep happening a few times to me. And I loved just enjoying the visual feast that this film was and how well it's crafted and how every fucking frame in this and every scene is so well considered and so the artistry's there. I think it wasn't so much the story, just the fact that it's a lore-heavy story and that it's based on all that pre-existing lore. It just was so easy to drop off some of those finer story threads, and I want to pick them back up for season 2, and I'm hoping that just kind of the recap and diving in, and I'll be able to like gloss past a couple of characters I've forgotten what their motivations were or what their relationships were. Because I don't know if it feels like more than any other series, but it definitely just feels like a lot of people I've spoken to have got the same read on it that I do, which is like, I really loved it. It just started falling apart just because of the characters and the story threads. They weren't bad. There's just kind of a fracturing of them.
It's a little bit, fractured, piecemeal.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to tell a little part of everyone's story per episode as opposed to maybe some other shows would go, we're going to spend this whole episode with these characters and then the next episode with those characters and really let you sit in their world. This bounces between all the story threads pretty consistently.
And I had my faves and the ones I was less interested in. I think that was it. If I didn't pay attention to that one long enough, I'd be like, oh, I just want to get back to the Undercity and hear what's going on with Jinx and those characters. And it's like, oh, I've just missed the train on some stuff. That's my viewing experience. I don't know.
I would say that I don't play League of Legends. I don't know anything about the lore outside of... I don't know anything about the lore. But I find this pretty easy to follow. I think that the reason that they bounce between the characters is because it's all interwoven. It's all about this conflict that is inevitable, and you're seeing the different components of what this conflict is going to look like. There's good and bad morally, good and bad in both parts of the city, and there are characters that are making moral choices about the kinds of weaponry that are going to appear, obviously in the video game, so obviously get created and used, and I think it's nice to add that layer of depth to the characters that you play in a MOBA, this isometric action thing where you get quips. To build characters out of quips is an interesting thing to do, and I think it is really deftly done here. Because all of the characters feel pretty realized. They do feel like a lot of this feels rote. It feels, I would say, Josh may disagree here. I would say this is pretty generic fantasy with a League of Legends skin on it. So that's what makes it feel unique. I don't think there's anything about the storytelling here that is that unique to this show. But I think that the writing and the performances are so beautiful that it works. It doesn't need to be anything more than like, classic hero kind of tale stuff.
It's the sort of thing where like this is so visually and like narratively striking. Like
Visually, yes.
I mean like the writing in terms of narrative, but it's so well done and clearly treated with so much love that it makes you wish this sort of love and attention to detail and attention to design was done more often with video game adaptations. Like this feels like the sort of thing that I'd like to see with literally anything else.
Literally a game I cared a bit more
Well, that's the
about.
thing. It's like I've only watched a few episodes of the first season, but I'm gonna rewatch so I can properly get into it, because everyone I know, even people who don't like League of Legends, are like, you should watch this, it rocks. So I do want to get into it, but just seeing what I've seen of it, once again, visually and writing wise, because I'm not a League of Legends fan, I look at it and I'm like, damn, this is beautiful. I wish a game that I liked and was interested in got this sort of treatment. And that's a good thing.
I'm glad it's not coasting purely on the visuals. The visuals are the 10 out of 10. Like every aspect of this is stunning. The animation house that started this, and now, as people have mentioned in the chat, the budget has blown up and they're absolutely going crazy with the 350 mil.
Yeah. It's not just that the art is beautiful. It's direction.
Totally.
And it's style, and like it is surprising constantly. It's really fucking special for that reason. Like every episode does something interesting that this medium, live action film, could do a version of and incorporate some interesting filmmaking techniques to make it work. But that this lends itself so comfortably to, because it can take you to different places, different art styles, different things really easily.
It feels like
not easily, but
yeah,
it doesn't feel jarring. So it just seamlessly moves between things. And
I love that, and again, it feels maybe like an obvious comparison, but I love where we're at currently with this style of animation, which is a blending so strongly of, in the Spider-Verse kind of world, vibes of computer technology and artistry that feels like it still comes from a hand-drawn or a tactile nature. They are now blending in such a strong way that the computer power can increase the output and some of the effects and the tricks that are there, but it can still pay compliments to an art style and to craft, a beautiful craftsmanship that goes into this, that feels like you're not quite watching one or the other, and it's not jarring and not at odds with itself. And again, I think the Into the Spider-Verse series and these are just that perfect level right now, where just every frame, every setup, the team behind it is going, let's maximize 100% of what's in the frame here, because, well, there's $350 million or 250 for whatever. But it's like, because there's that budget, because there's that talent, because everyone working on this clearly enjoys doing this kind of style of, this animation process. It clearly makes people go, I have to utilize it all. And if for nothing else, I will continue watching this for that. Narratively, I think I'm going to try and stay afloat, but it is the show that I can kind of half tune out on and just sort of just watch and be like, I love everything I'm seeing here. So,
Yeah, I think seeing that much money get put into animation is incredibly rare these days. I think Junji Ito's Uzumaki is a great and depressing example of that. So hopefully, if anything in terms of video game adaptations, looking at animation as a whole, I feel like I at least hope that this is like
to the right people.
When given to the right people, is a signal to studios to trust animators and let them cook.
Yeah, and to be visually distinct, I think the obvious comparison to Arcane's success is the Dota television show's failure, which was a failure to be interesting enough to warrant watching. And it so wasn't. It was done by the Castlevania team. The Castlevania show was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And the Dota show was bland.
I didn't even know there was a Dota show.
It was not
It's
great.
called the Dota Show.
It was I can't remember what it was.
Dota, watch
very
this.
bland.
I can't remember what
It's
it's
just,
called.
it did nothing with that kind of
You know, and it had some decent performances, but nothing really special. Characters were not interesting, and that art style wasn't fantastic enough. You know, it didn't lean into fantasy well enough. It is like baroque and dark and cool, but this is grunge and color and just so much excitement in every frame. And
music's a bit hit and miss for me.
the music I would call cringe core.
Whingy cringe.
It's like Imagine Dragons.
But I've heard the K-pop song's good. Stray Kids?
Yeah, there's stuff in here that's it's cool. It's like rhythmic energy. It's all like
They definitely
iron stuff.
they definitely punctuate it with the visuals, or they use it as inspiration for how they cut and edit.
It's all
and that
married
feels
together.
great.
Let's roll, shall we, for the first season Blu-ray, because it's going to get sent
Let's
to someone.
roll the Dota show.
So if you've entered with !Hex Tech HEXTECH,
I love
we
Linkin
will.
Park.
Sorry,
Sorry, I was just saying to NJ, I love Linkin Park.
I love Linkin Park too. I would say they're the kings and now queen of cringecore. We're going to do an eyeball roll in 15 seconds, and the person who wins will be sent a copy by Sugoi Co. of Arcane Season 1 on Blu-ray. So
Ali didn't watch it, don't care for it, not going to watch it?
No.
Fair enough.
fair enough. Are we going to see a Netflix $250 million series
Mystiques?
around Mystiques?
Fuck yeah.
You know what's crazy? Maybe.
Hell fucking yes.
Oh
Ali!
my god. You heard it here first.
love
Maybe.
to
First.
see that
Come
as
back
a
for the
show.
4K Ultra HD Steelbook next year. This time next year, it'll be ready.
That's
let's
exciting.
roll it. Let's roll it.
Roll away.
Rectech.
Rectech.
There
I
it
mean,
is.
name's
Congrats.
fitting.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
tech. Rectech Hex Tech. Good
Shouts
stuff.
out. Congrats.
Congrats.
We know where you are. We can get this out to you. That's fine.
We've got your address?
We've got your address.
Yeah, we've got your address.
You
Ali,
don't need to send Ali your address.
Send me your address.
I love that. That's your catchphrase.
that is what we've been watching on other screens.
You want to be on
It's so beautiful.
Subtle. Good segment. Haven't done that one in a while. Good suggestions. Go check them all out. That pretty much brings us to the end of the show. Thank everyone for watching. Coming up next, for those at the gold tier and above, is our post show. The post show is where we turn all the lights red, talk about the all exclusive stuff that we couldn't talk about here. But you, if you're at that tier or above, might get access to more things that we do here at Back Pocket. So if you are not already, head on over to our Patreon. You can find a link at backpocket.gg. And it's happening already, baby.
A little taste.
Oh my word.
taste.
And sign up for that. The post show, we'll talk to the community as well. We'll check out some creative. We'll answer questions that come across in Discord. We give you guys a little more love down there in the chat. We'll look down there. We won't just repeat what you say. We'll answer the questions that you ask if they're good questions. Josh, speaking of creative, is there perchance something that's found its way into the Discord already?
Let's shout Ali first, and I'll have something in a second.
Let's
Cool.
what?
Just chat to Ali.
Let's just chat to Ali.
How can we
It
find
says
out?
here, talk to the audience.
How can we find out more about what you're doing?
Phil for a little longer.
So you can follow Mystique's game on every platform except for Blue Sky, and you can follow me on Blue Sky because I got Blue Sky today, and I feel like I'm not getting enough attention on my posts.
Welcome to
So
the
you have to-
party.
What's your Blue Sky handle? And
It's-
can Josh bring that up, or is he busy doing other stuff?
It's Ali
It's
Hennessy.
Ali Hennessy, ALLYHENNESSY.
Good little pause to spell your own name there.
Well, it's a new
That's a
name.
new surname.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Go
And you
give
didn't
that a
care
follow.
about it when it was
Yeah.
just your
Yeah,
partner's surname.
Spell
now
it.
it says, give Ali attention or else.
But most importantly, as you mentioned at the start of the show, head on to Steam right now.
Wishlist.
Look up Mystiques and is it Mystiques and Antique Gift Shop? What's that?
Mystique's
Mystique's
Haunted
Haunted
Antiques.
Haunted Antiques. Check that out. Follow it. Please give it a wish list now. You can't give it overwhelmingly positive if it's not out, can we? No.
You can wishlist it. You can send us overwhelmingly positive posts.
There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, tell your friends about it. You got any rank bitches in your life?
Yeah.
They need to check out this game.
Bully everyone you know.
Yeah.
Don't answer this if you don't need to. Is there a milestone that's coming up next for you guys? What's the most, the next thing on the calendar for the game's development?
Right now, so we showed the game at South by, and we will be showing the game early next year at an event to be announced. But there will be an opportunity to play the game Q1 2025.
There you go. You heard it. I keep saying you heard it here first. You might have heard it before, but I heard it here
I don't
first.
think
And
I
You heard it on Blue, you heard it
I've
on
heard
Blue
it
Sky. If you're following Ali
That's
and
right.
on Blue Sky.
Give me attention.
Josh, how was that for stalling?
Give me attention.
I don't agree with this politics, Gus, but I have the creative, yes.
Excellent. Let's have a quick squiz at the creative that is over there. Did you play this yet?
Not yet, no.
Not yet.
I have been busy with the game that I played.
Fair enough.
But
you look very busy.
I've heard that the brothers, they like to say each other's names a lot.
Okay.
I learned that from Donkey, and I might play it. I much rather be the boss and kill Mario and do a Luigi.
Fair enough. Who put that one together, Josh?
That was Dolphin Pants.
Thank you,
Fans,
Dolphin.
Thank you, as always. We're going to check out more of that creative in the post show, so please do come along and join us. And as I mentioned, you need to be gold tier and above on our Patreon, so you can head on over there. You'll also get the uncut version of the playback. That's Peter and I playing Dragon Age, the Veil
Guard.
Veil Guard.
The Veil Guard, and the cut of that is coming shortly to our YouTube Back Pocket Highlights channel. Please go and give that a follow. That's where all our shorts go. All the highlights from this episode go as well, so you can follow that. And if you get that tier, you'll get all the bonus content we make, including a Pocketeer Discord role. You can head over to the Discord. You can head there now without that, and you can just meet all the lovely people that are over there. But why not get a Discord role as well and just sign up at our Patreon for that? Sounds good. Go do it. Thank you, Peter. That officially, because we've already done the speak to the guest bit now, is our show for the week. Thank you to everyone for tuning in, and especially those who support us on Patreon. Please share the show with your friends and your family. Head to backpocket.gg for links, like I've already said. We are back next week. It's getting close to the end of the year. Things are rounding out. We've got a couple more episodes before the big Christmas special.
Yeah, we got someone in the chat who's going to be on the show next week.
Oh, shit.
Actually.
Really?
Someone
Snug.
snug.
Oh, things are going to get snuggly next week.
Very interesting.
That'll be fun. Ali, thank you so much for coming back.
for
Pleasure to
having
have
me.
you here.
I don't have to read the credits this time.
You don't have to
You
do
can,
it.
you can if you want, but they'll be silent.
But you will stick around for the post show?
Yeah.
We pre-asked that. Don't worry, I'm not putting our guests on the spot anymore like I used to. Awesome. We look forward to that. For those the gold tier and above, we'll see you in that post show. But for now, to round us out, Ruby. Ali. Peter.
Yes.
Oh my. Thank you for joining, everyone. We'll catch you next time. We're going to back it out. Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.